Adam.
What is Toronto?
That's the city.
Ford 3000.
Born in Texas, this one-time Gucci fashion designer has also directed movies and appeared on many magazine covers himself. Anna.
Who's Tom Ford?
Yes.
Ford Fiesta 100.
In 1982, she co-founded her center to treat drug addiction and chaired the board until 2005. Jonathan.
It was Betty Ford.
That's her.
Car model 1000.
A Hyundai sedan, a flavor enhancer that's basically MSG. What is accent?
Bird Brains 800.
There's the first daily level of the day. You are in second place with 3,400. How much would you like to wager?
Let's just do 1,000.
Just 1,000. Here's your clue. Scientists think the corvids, including the American and carrion this, are the smartest of all birds.
What is a crow?
Yes, that's correct. And that will put you in the lead. Your pick.
Bird Brains 1,000.
The parrot called the African this color is renowned for its ability to communicate via human speech. Anna.
What is blue?
Jonathan. Adam. What is the African gray? Jonathan.
Ford Fiesta 200.
Kevin Costner was going to play president in Air Force One, but had to leave the film, so the role went to this star. Adam.
It was Harrison Ford.
That's correct. We have a tie for first place, and we will be back with Double Jeopardy. Anna, you will pick first right after this.
Home values and extreme weather events have increased dramatically. Protect your number one investment and avoid costly damages caused by clogged and overflowing gutters. Never clean or worry about your gutters again. Call Gutter Helmet today for a free demonstration and estimate.
Feeling
Lost.
no.
Do it now.
Put yourself out there.
It's okay to be lost.
The cameras.
It's average. 12 Americans who qualify for Medicare don't receive all the benefits they deserve. You can be missing out. Now, Anthem Blue Cross introduces a free Medicare plan checkup to ensure you receive all benefits you qualify for in 2020. Call 1-800-781-2694 today and receive extra benefits for a $0 monthly premium. Benefits like vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. And to help you stay healthy at home, you can have free prescription drug delivery, online doctor visits 24/7, and free exercise classes. You can even receive money towards over-the-counter health items. Call 1-800-781-2694 today and feel confident you have all the benefits you deserve for 2020. You can receive extra benefits for a $0 monthly premium, like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. Call 1-800-781-2694 and make sure you're not missing out.
Are your gutters clogged and overflowing? Don't risk climbing dangerous ladders. Never clean gutters again. Gutter Helmet will cover your existing gutters and save you a ton of money with $0 down, 0% interest. Call for your free quote today. Promotional consideration provided by
What punch that's more sanitary and rinses 99.9% clean? Clean out loud.
Welcome back. It's time for Double Jeopardy. Here are the categories. History's mysteries, Swedish writers, theater companies, what a beautiful name, fictional Africa, and verbiage. Each response is a word that ends in AGE. Anna, you're in third place.
Let's do verbiage for 400.
To wrap a wound. Adam.
With bandage.
That's it.
Verbiage rating.
To play a practice game against members of your own team. Jonathan.
The scrimmage.
Correct.
Theater company.
Lauren Metcalf, John Malkovich, and Gary Sinise can howl with delight about this Chicago theater company they've long been associated with. Jonathan.
Was Steppenwolf.
Yes.
Theater
They
1600.
want to tell you to give it like.
The Atlantic Theater Company was founded by William H. Macy and this Glengarry Glen Ross playwright. Anna, who's Nettis? Yes. Theater Company's 12.
Just animals.
This Oscar winner is a co-founder and artistic director of the Actors Gang, which puts on shows right here in Culver City.
They want me like.
Jonathan,
It was Tim Ross. Theater 800.
many of Sam Shepard's shows began at the Magic Theater Company, which now operates near Fisherman's Wharf in this city. Adam,
What is San Francisco?
correct.
Theater performance.
With members like Randall Park and Ali Wong, LCC is an Asian American theater company at this Southern California university.
Out there, like.
My alma mater, UCLA. Adam,
Okay. Histories and mysteries for 800.
dead by her own hand in 30 BC, she was thought to have been buried in Alexandria, but her tomb has never been found.
You don't like to teach.
Anna, who's Cleopatra? Yes. History of mysteries, company. Historians have been confounded by the disappearance of Rome's ninth prince, lost in the 2nd century AD.
How many killed somebody?
What is Legion?
That's right.
Verbiage 1200.
To Rome in search of food.
Walk outside.
Jonathan.
Was forage.
Yes.
Verbiage 1600.
To pledge property as collateral for a loan. Jonathan.
Was mortgage.
Right again.
Verbiage 2000.
To carry a boat overland from one body of water to another. Jonathan.
What is portage?
Correct.
Thing to do.
History 1600.
The first English child born in the Americas, she disappeared with the rest of the Roanoke colonists. Jonathan.
It
was Dare.
Virginia Dare, yes.
Mysteries 2000.
There's a big double. You have 16,000. You tend to be a conservative wager. For 18,000, here's your clue. A real-life drama. This Shakespeare contemporary was killed under mysterious circumstances May 30th, 1593.
Who is Marlowe?
Yes, he was a spy as well as a playwright. Well done. Go again.
Let's do mysteries 400.
Despite reporting no problems, the USS Cyclops went missing in 1918 and is thought to be lost in this mysterious region. Jonathan,
What's the Bermuda Triangle?
that's it.
Let's do Swedish writers 400.
In Return to Ithaca, Nobel Prize winner Aidan Johnson retold this ancient epic and set it in the 20th century. Jonathan,
What's the Odyssey?
yes.
Swedish 800.
Seen here, Astrid Lindgren appears on a 20 krona note along with this girl, her most famous creation. Jonathan,
Who is Pippi Longstocking?
there is none other, correct.
Swedish 1200.
This author's estate chose journalist David Lagerkrantz to continue the Millennium series. Jonathan,
Who is Stieg Larsson?
What is
Correct.
this year?
Swedish 1600.
Midlive Some Good by author Radar Jansson became this movie.
We don't want to hear either one of your.
My Life as a Dog. Jonathan.
Swedish 2000.
Bestsellers by this contemporary author include Beartown and A Man Called Uva.
Then you run around and tell me it's their bullshit. What's their
Frederick
movie talking
Backman.
about?
Jonathan.
Right?
Fictional Africa 1200.
We don't need your phone.
This character had just 2 hours to deal with a coup in Sangala in the TV movie 24, Redemption.
So we tell you to do it yourself.
That's it.
Africa 1600.
Aaron Sorkin used equatorial Hindu on this TV series and then again on the newsroom. And what is the Let's Swing? That's it. Fictional African movie. In the first movie allowed to shoot inside the United Nations, Nicole Kidman had this title job playing a character from Matobo. Jonathan.
What is the Interpreter?
Yes.
Africa 800.
There's the other day double. Your bid is even bigger. 24,000. Will you still make a conservative wager? Here's your clue.
That's all right.
Also known as the Golden City, Vernon Zana is the capital of this futuristic African nation.
What is Wakanda?
Yes,
I think
that's
it's funny
correct.
that like whatever.
That takes you
This
to
is
26,000 to dig out.
The city is something bad.
In a 1938 tale, the fictional cities of Thomas and Asher are at war, and this ape man is caught in the middle.
We use millions of dollars.
Jonathan was Tarzan. Yes.
Beautiful name for
Sun
it.
City.
The Italian phrase, hey, this feminine means how beautiful. Jonathan.
What is Bella?
Que bella, yes.
Name 800.
Change the two middle letters of Carrie to get this name from the Greek for beautiful. Jonathan.
Was Callie?
Correct.
1200. Yeah.
It's a first name and a synonym for beautiful, often heard before Scotland. Adam.
Was Bonnie?
Yes.
Beautiful.
This last name of the actor seen here is a Spanish word for beautiful. That is Delroy Lindo, and here is the last clue. Checking multiple cultural boxes, this name signifying beauty in Japanese also belongs to a Muslim mystic poet. Anna.
But it's Rumi.
That's correct, and that brings you into a tie with Adam for second place, but it's the Same League, who has been tough to beat. Let's take a look at the category. Names on the map. Make your wagers. We'll be back with the clue after this.
Constipated? Set yourself free with Fleet. Gentle constipation relief in minutes. Little Fleet, big relief. Try it. Feel it. Feel that Fleet feeling. Find your rhythm, your happy place. Find your breaking point. Then break it. Every emergency, home like nutrients. So you can emerge your best with emergency.
Is struggling to manage your type 2 diabetes knocking you out of your zone? Lowering your A1C with once-weekly Ozempic can help you get back in it. Lysol, lowering my A1C, CV risk, and losing some weight. Now, back to the game. Ozempic is proven to lower A1C. Most people who took Ozempic reached an A1C of under 7 and maintained it. And you may lose weight. Adults lost on average up to 12 pounds. In adults also with known heart disease, Ozempic lowers the risk of major cardiovascular events such as heart attack, stroke, or death. Ozempic helped me get back in my type 2 diabetes zone.
Ozempic isn't for people with type 1 diabetes. Don't share needles or pens or reuse needles. Don't take Ozempic if you or your family ever had medullary thyroid cancer or have multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2 or are allergic to it. Stop Ozempic and get medical help right away. You can no longer swelling in your neck, severe stomach pain, or an allergic reaction. Serious side effects may include pancreatitis. Tell your provider about vision problems or changes. Taking Ozempic with a sulfonylurea or insulin may increase low blood sugar risk. Side effects like nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea may lead to dehydration, which may worsen kidney problems.
Looking to get back in your type 2 diabetes zone? Ask your healthcare provider today about once-weekly Ozempic.
You may pay as little as $25 for a 3-month prescription.
Want to be on Jeopardy? The contestant department is conducting auditions all over the country right now, right from your own home, using your phone, tablet, or computer. So take a crack at it. We promise it's free. Just go to Jeopardy.com and get started.
Camera 2, action.
The fall savings event at Metro Lighting. Save 20% on any light fixture or ceiling fan, including all lights, with a bonus coupon at MetroLightingCenters.com. Plus 50% off all clearance lighting fans. Now at Metro Lighting.
Bathwater fits what's important in your life. That might be in the tub or in the shower. With hundreds of design options to fit your style, it just fits. Call now or visit bathwater.com to book your free consultation. Remix your recipe. Make it a hit if that was raised. Horses, bourbon, and the great outdoors. That's Kentucky, original, majestic, and wide open. In one day, visit legendary facilities, explore horse country, or put on your hiking shoes and get out there. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
It's the fall savings event at Metro Lighting. Save 20% on any light fixture or ceiling fan, including all Kingston, with a bonus coupon at MetroLightingCenters.com. Plus 50% off all clearance lighting and fans. Now at Metro Lighting.
Metro.
We know personalized service.
And we are
Very small pan.
these signals you see wrong.
This quality of being able to easily change things if desired is central to consumer cellular plan. What is flexibility? Consumer cellular low rates and award-winning service are just the beginning.
Welcome back to Final Jeopardy. The category, names on the map. Here's your clue. From 1824 to 1825, this hero toured all 24 states, and an Indiana city was named for him. You have 30 seconds. Good luck. Let's start with Anna. What was your response? Who is Gary? Unfortunately, that is not correct. What's that going to cost you? All but $1. All right. We'll go now to Adam George. What did you respond? Who is the Marquis de Lafayette? That is correct. What are we going to add to your score? 6,800 to 13,600 and puts you in second place. And Jonathan Fisher, who could not be caught at 27,600, what did you come up with? Who is Gary as well? That's not correct. What did you wager? 2,400. That leaves you 25,200. You are our Jeopardy champion with a 6-day total of $142,900. Congratulations. Well played. We will see you tomorrow for more Jeopardy.
Promotional consideration provided by Consumer Cellular.
Back in. Or inside, Greenwald inside the road.
The owners of a restaurant open for nearly half a century have announced they're closing the doors. They say the COVID pandemic and current staffing shortage forced them to shut down. Good evening, everyone. I'm Kelly Jackson.
And I'm Annabelle. In for Mike Bush. The owners of Bermuda Triangle Heights say they simply cannot find enough help. Live on your side, Alex Bees is live outside of the restaurant this evening. This is a decades-old restaurant, and generations of families have gone there.
That's right, and Kelly, 46 years to be precise. It's a familiar refrain we've heard from a lot of owners in the restaurant industry lately. They all want to know, where are the workers?
We are proud of what we did, and we're proud that we were able to employ so many people.
Like many other restaurant owners these days, Rick and Carol Valucci would like to be able to employ more people, but they can't find enough workers.
Everything. We need managers, we need cooks, we need servers. We just cannot find help. We'll get applications, and then they won't show up for the interviews. But we don't even get that many applications, to be honest with you.
At Webster University, Human Resources and Management Professor Dr. Julie Palmer says food service is one of many industries that is readjusting.
You know, people say that the assistance that people were getting has caused us to not want to work, but it's way more complicated than that. Many people have spent a lot more time at home and have reevaluated where they in fact want to spend their time. And they're choosing not to work, right?
In Missouri, Governor Mike Parson opted out of federal unemployment programs designed to prompt people to go back to work.
Missouri opting out of that federal program did not work.
I would argue that
far as, as far as property.
Well, once you get from, Burke.
I don't think you had any last weekend.
Have always loved our
A lot of
meals.
occasions,
The restaurant will be greatly missed. Rick says he was doing okay.
Well, okay.
All the comments on Facebook. My family and friends and I went here all the time as kids and continued into adulthood.
And part of it really hit me. Maybe we should do things right.
Balducci sold their winery out to Augusta several months ago, so with this development, for them, that's pretty much a wrap. They're getting ready to retire. Live in Maryland Heights, Alex D is 500 side.
Well, if you think that's okay, just say it over. We'll set it over here.
Heartfelt and emotional goodbye from Mike Schmidt today, as he spoke for the first time since his abrupt firing from the St. Louis Cardinals last week. Sports director Frank Chris Amano was here with more on Schmidt's decision tonight.
Yeah, Kelly, he got really emotional that moment. We were talking about his wife and his two stepdaughters because of their love and loyalty to him, especially right now. 18-year relationship with the Cardinals has ended, so it's been an emotional time for Mike Schilt. And as expected, Schilt took the high road. Could have lashed out and wondered openly, how could they fire me at the end of 3 consecutive postseasons? But he wasn't going to do that. That is not Mike Schilt.
I was told not to talk at a school. And clearly they were dead since the led to this parting of ways. Out of respect for the organization and people that run it, I can only express my gratitude and all the philosophies that were shared over many years, most of which together allowed us to part ways as professional friends.
And he thanked almost everyone. We're talking everybody from the late George Kissel to Bob Gibson to Lou Brock to the players who said, he basically said, I've loved all these guys. It was a pretty powerful 5 or 6 minutes today.
He's a true man of baseball. I know that people wanted him to maybe explain his philosophy, but he just wasn't going to go there, was he?
Yeah, he wasn't. And once again, this more shocking story because, look, you don't fire a guy who's in 3 straight postseasons, who is liked by his players, and who is respected by the media and the fan base. And that's what makes it so stunning. And to his credit, not once did he get into, and he acknowledged there was a difference between the two parties, but he didn't lash out at anything.
All right, because he was looking for another job.
That's right. The next job, that was his first interview. The next job. Let me take you back. Mike Matheny got fired. He was a winning manager too. He didn't lash out. Well, where's Mike Matheny right now? He's got a new job with the Kansas City Royals.
Yep. All right, Frank. We'll see you a little later.
More than halfway through October, it's finally starting to feel like fall. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell. Hopefully you're checking more of these beautiful temperatures, but even though it's feeling fall-ish, it's still a little warm for what we should be, right, Scott?
Yeah, temperature this time of year, the average high is 68, and we've been in the 70s this afternoon, so skewing above average once again, and this morning we started out in the upper 40s right on target. Right now, looking down in Harlem, 141 and 55, traffic picking up over the rush hour, 71 degrees right now in Arnold from our weather camera there. And the 70 is possible, so the area just feels 74. Over Greenwald, we managed to get up to 75 degrees. We're talking low wind power, lows on the moderate side, so really not big problems here. The allergy index. Skies are very clear. Late tonight, we'll start to see a few high clouds, but the overall trend here is really warmth to continue through Wednesday. And we're also tracking a wind chance. We'll talk more about the timing of Wednesday. Just a few minutes.
See you then, Scott. We have new information about a deadly shooting that left a 19-year-old woman dead this weekend.
Speculation, man. Speculation, that's all we
Such a gut-wrenching loss.
Speculating in
Ryan's
Chicago,
live St. Louis police headquarters.
that's all we need to do. Every fucking motorcycle.
The father says his daughter
Won't like
had
that
such a huge heart. She just loved to see people doing better. She was actually giving younger coworkers a ride home after getting off of work late.
Every quarter there, like
Tragically
4
shot.
kids in speculation, futures and all that shit. Their stock options.
She loved you.
That's all fucking illegal
She loved
speculation.
you for everything she would give and do whatever she could. I don't know what transpired. Other than it wasn't meant for her.
On this trip, you need to get it in
I
your
don't know.
house. Have a safe thing. Something you don't like.
Police say shots rang out at 8500 block of Church Road.
You can somehow keep it
Sunday morning.
clean and dry in your house.
Was walking away from the nursing school because she wanted to be independent.
Then it got all out there.
With her college prep graduate loves, especially soccer. For the past 15 years, the father and daughter were pictures at Wolf Rec Center that stopped the
That's what it
violence
is.
against. He says
But all that
today
shit
is absolutely nothing. And there were actually 3
It's
other
speculation.
people in the
Shit,
vehicle after
grain
the
futures on the
couple
Chicago
of
Trade
so they weren't injured.
goddamn stock options for foreign powers. We were, that's all speculation.
Some people responsible.
That fucking land speculation, that's even. Real estate speculation, that shit is all even. Speculation on interest rate, that shit
Former
is all
Secretary of
even.
State Colin Powell.
All that shit's
He
illegal.
was the first African American.
You're gonna speculate on the interest rate, is what do you
Staff,
think's like,
and the first African American Secretary of State. Powell
uh,
died of complications.
all
from
that shit's
COVID-19.
fucking illegal.
A source familiar with the
Every
matter
fucking
tells
word of
CNN
speculation
Powell had multiple
is against
myeloma,
the
that's a
fucking,
cancer of the plasma cells,
matter of
which
fact,
suppresses the
you
body's immune
speculate,
response. He also
you're
had
fucking
Parkinson's.
wrong,
He was fully
you gotta
vaccinated.
pay.
Powell leaves behind an
Matter of
unparalleled
fact, you
legacy
speculate, you gotta pay anyway.
and around the world.
And
from
while
his
you
decades
speculate
of
and
public
you're wrong,
service.
you gotta pay more.
The world lost one of the greatest leaders.
So what's the guy do? When Trump has to make
Powell
his
grew up in the
guests come through.
Bronx. His parents immigrated from Jamaica. He served 2 tours in Vietnam, rising through the ranks to become a 4-star
Hey, that
general.
guy's a Jamaican.
Jury selection begins in the murder trial of Ahmaud Arbery. How long it took
Vegas still like fighting for.
Plus, protesters crashed the Olympic torch
That guy's a
ceremony.
Jamaican. It's a
Now
real
look at what happened.
by choice. Yes.
This 5-on-Your
No,
Side
he's not.
newscast is brought to you by Henry Kitchen and
So
Bath,
you
where
can't
home
paint.
matters.
Just like a red man can, a brown man, black man,
Critiquing content that
a
matters
yellow
to
man.
you on field television.
None of us,
A one-way local reporting together free
man in the army is the
as it
teacher.
happens.
The General Motors plant in Wentzville will soon pause production.
Weather alerts when
That's right down here.
1 to 3 inches of rain across much of the metro.
Man in the army is the teacher.
and on demand, no matter where you go or how you want.
Such a rock star, man in the army,
It's
no.
on
Just run around with feathers, yeah.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true, with diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this, now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take control of your sight.
Home. Just like that.
vision.
The
greatest offensive
And,
intelligence of
just
the
went back there,
planet.
and they
Results define predator or prey. Armed by Opera's clarity in a disruptive, ever-evolving world by bringing more agility and innovation and breadth of expertise for apex performance. Equipping you with the insights and tools needed to succeed today and in the future.
Well, they don't say much.
Offering a perspective of what is possible, opportunity, insight.
Science lane. You're beating out our other.
Jury selection began today in the murder trial of 3 white Georgia men charged with killing Ahmaud
It's all
Arbery.
fresh.
The 25-year-old black
That's
man was
good,
shot
ain't
while
it, right?
jogging after being followed by a father and son in a pickup truck in their neighborhood in February of 2020. Travis McMichael and his father, Gregory McMichael, are accused of killing Arbery, while a third man, William Bryant, filmed the deadly shooting. The McMichaels have said that they thought Arbery was a
Yeah, they
murderer.
run around.
The 3 face state charges of malice, felony murder, aggravated assault, false imprisonment, and
They're just
criminal
a
attempt to
thug
commit a felony.
with
Jury
a
selection
supposed
could
to
take
be,
2 weeks or even longer.
So,
Supply chain shortages are impacting just about every aspect of our lives, and now it's impacting schools across the country.
and yeah,
They are
there's a
struggling
centralized
to put
efficiency.
together for your
club.
kids. Schools are being
Nobody's
forced
gonna
to
get
change and
another
get creative with
You know,
menus, everything
medicine.
from bread and milk, fresh fruits and vegetables, it was hard to find. Cafeterias are increasingly worried about kids going hungry, and schools can't just go shopping at local grocery stores.
We know that schools are trying to meet the dietary guidelines for whole grains and fruits and vegetables and salt. And so the schools will just run to the grocery store, not only for them being more expensive because they're unable to buy in bulk at bulk prices, but they would have to be checking every label to make sure that those guidelines that are put in place for schools.
Next on nightly news, the steps schools are having to take to keep your kids and grandkids. Believe it or not, the Beijing Olympics, they are just around the corner. Next day, the Olympic torch was lit. We are 100 days out. The 2022 Olympic flight was lit at Greece's ancient Olympia. Beijing will become the first city to host both the Winter and Summer Games. 3 protesters interrupted that ceremony. Climbing over a fence, they tried to reach the ceremony site. They were holding a Tibetan flag and a banner that read, "No genocide." The Beijing Winter Games will run from February 4th to February 20th. Only spectators from mainland China will be allowed to attend. We have a big warning about a potential winter COVID surge. What you can do right now to prevent it. The new sponsor opening up inside a popular film hall. You can check out the new taste ahead.
Illinois Gordon
classified state area. Some will be 7 years short. Temperatures cool and gone. And it really gets cool one as we head towards the end of the week. We're talking rain shifts. We come back.
A standout country battle.
Think the voice guards are shining on me.
As the coaches fighting for country crown.
They have time to win. Where's Crown fights every thing in that area?
We have some
These
concerns
waste
about
of
this.
people
Let's
and
take it today.
building areas. Yes.
Is he cheating?
Do.
I want to talk to you about something.
And whatever.
Don't miss our 2
That's
biggest
all right.
days to save at Ashley Home Store. Friday and Saturday only. Save 25% off store-wide with no minimum purchases. Or get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. 2 days only at Ashley Home Store.
That's not thinking. It's sausage.
Whoa.
See, whole junk food and sausage strips. Sausage that ain't cooked like this. It's so mean. Find them in the big section. Even though they're sausage.
What makes new Salonpas arthritis gel so good for arthritis pain? Salonpas contains the most prescribed topical pain relief ingredient. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
With so many reasons to buy from Jim Butler Chevrolet, it's no wonder our customers have made us the region's #1 dealer. Shop online or stop by our lot. And soon, you'll be singing along too.
Jim Butler is the Chevy powerhouse.
It's your eye candy. It's your adrenaline rush. It's your turbocharged, adventure-ready, lunch-hour dirty little secret. The Hyundai Santa Fe. It's your journey home. Get 1.9% APR for 60 months on the Santa Fe, or lease for $219 a month. Visit buyhyundai.com today.
These are 2 biggest days to save at Ashley Home Store. Friday and Saturday only. Save 25% off store-wide with no minimum purchase. Find upholstered sofas starting at $489 or get 0% interest for 5 years. 2 days only at Ashley Home Store.
All right,
New COVID-19 infections are declining across the country, but that doesn't mean we're out of the woods just yet. The CDC is sending out a warning as the holiday season approaches to help prevent another winter surge in cases like we saw last year. The CDC released new guidelines for the holidays recommending all eligible Americans be vaccinated. They're also asking everyone to continue wearing masks indoors, particularly in areas with high transmission and around those most at risk, like young children who aren't eligible yet for the vaccine.
it's so important to get vaccinated for the good of the community, to keep the level of infection down. When you do that, there's no reason at all why you can't enjoy the holidays.
The FDA will meet next Tuesday to discuss Pfizer's emergency use authorization for kids aged 5 to 11.
If you are needing to get your car repaired, you may have to wait a while or pay a premium. Because of the global supply chain crisis, there are major shortages in car parts, which is wreaking havoc on the automotive industry. The typical car on the road right now is 12 years old, which means this could impact a lot of cars. There are not enough parts coming in from overseas right now to fix all the cars, which means end up waiting weeks. Used car prices are also up 35% right now, as the rest of the automotive industry deals with a computer chip shortage affecting new cars.
Yet another retailer has moved up their holiday sales because of COVID and potential shipping delays. Walmart is bringing back its month-long Deals for Days in November. There will be 3 sales, with the first starting online next month, that's November 3rd, and in stores on November 5th. The second sale will start online November 10th and in stores November 12th. They have not released the dates of the third sale. And we have all the holiday shopping dates you need to know about, including when you need to get those gifts in the mail on just text the word shop to 314-425-5355.
2 new kitchen concepts added into City Foundry Food Hall. Chicken Scratch and Sureste Mexican will open on Wednesday. Chicken Scratch is a rotisserie chicken concept. You can get quarter, half, or whole chickens that are seasoned in a dry rub and slow cooked in an oven. Sureste Mexican will feature flavors from the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico. The highlights include marinated pork roasted overnight in banana leaves, and they'll also serve tamales and ceviche. To find hours for City Foundry, just head to KSK.com and click on the As Seen on TV section. So I think there's at least 14 different restaurants in that one hall. So when you don't know what you want to eat, what place to check out?
Great selection. Okay, I was talking to Scott and I don't know about you, but I've had my air on during the day and my heat on at night. I just can't decide what to do.
I know, well, and I talked about these fall colors. Where are they?
Yeah, because it's been so warm, October so far, more than 7 degrees above average, and we really haven't had a lot of cool nights. Only in the last few days have we actually had temperatures a little below average, and so the leaves are slow to change. But one thing that's nice about this type of weather, 73 in Kirkwood right now at the farmer's market, and you can see the kids are out there playing on the bales of straw, having some fun in that fall setting. Skies are clear across this area, Illinois, with the exception of far western Missouri. You can see some of those high clouds that are back over Kansas. Farther to the west, our system for Wednesday is here over the Intermountain region. That'll be pushing off to the east. This is going to bring with it a chance of a shower, maybe a rumble of thunder, but not until later on Wednesday, and it doesn't look like it's a big deal. Temperatures this evening, as soon as the sun goes down, we start dropping off pretty quickly out of the 70s into the 60s by 9 o'clock. We're in the 50s. You might be thinking, well, I'm just not enough time tonight, really, before the sun sets to do much in the yard. Tomorrow, we're looking to get more in the yard. Most of the weather is actually dry, and Thursday, we're going to be much cooler come Thursday. I think we'll still be blowing into November. I bet we are. Looking at tomorrow, high clouds. That's it to start us off out the door. Temperatures will be a little bit milder early tomorrow morning. Coming into tomorrow afternoon, plenty of sunshine. We're back into the low 70s. A quiet day for us tomorrow, but Wednesday's the day. We're tracking that front in from the west. Early on, north and west of St. Louis through Wednesday morning, there may actually be a couple of little sprints around. And then as we head through the afternoon, especially late afternoon towards the rush hour and afterwards, that cold front approach could pick up a few scattered showers, maybe a quick hitting look at thunder. It won't be a whole lot, and we don't expect a lot in the rain gauge after all is said and done. 75 right now, current temperature in St. Louis. Dew point is 44. It doesn't look like the climate is came in today. We know at least it was 76 after our low this morning of 48 degrees. We should be 2 or 3 degrees better tomorrow. Starting out at 51. 74 your high tomorrow afternoon. Mid to upper 70s again on Wednesday. Chance for a late day shower. 60s for highs. Thursday. That is about not really cooler than average. About average. weekend. Sunday, there will be a chance for some showers.
All right, Scott, thank you. Luther Burton will make a big life decision with the college football world watching. Frank Cusimano talks to a guy who's been there before. He's next with sports.
Scandinavian design. Shop modern style for every budget at our new furniture showroom, now open in St. Peters.
Lived in this neighborhood all my life. We take care of each other. When our neighbor was hurt by a delivery truck, I told him to call Brown and Cooper. They're smart and honest. And smart and honest is all you need.
Horses, bourbon, and the great outdoors. That's Kentucky original, majestic, and wide open. In one day, visit legendary distilleries, explore horse country, or put on your hiking shoes and get out there. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
Do you need a new roof? John Field Roofing makes it simple. For starters, we can install most roofs in as little as 1 day.
You can also have your roof replaced for as little as $1.99 a square foot. Looking for a great warranty? How about a lifetime warranty? Plus, you get people like me.
And me.
And me. Sole purpose is to make sure you're happy every step of the way.
With John Field Roofing, you get more than a great job. You get an entire team dedicated to you. So call us at 1-800-NEW-ROOF today.
An official message from Medicare.
Did you try it yet?
Comparing plans?
Oh yeah, they sure can change year to year.
I found lower premiums.
And lower prescription costs.
That'll save you money. So I'm smart.
Medicare.gov.
Open enrollment ends December 7th.
Use the plan finder at Medicare.gov to compare Medicare health and prescription plans.
Comparing plans. Really tasty.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Injured, our America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people. $500 Visa gift cards on every vehicle, new or used, at Ty Brown Chevrolet.
Do you feel like the beneficiary of this? Why should they believe that they know that people are getting it? Has it been worth it to make this trip? Do you feel like you're giving a green light to politicians? How do you explain why your case has become so important?
Perhaps no one has lived through more emotions the last 5 days than Mike Shaw. Let's see, we have shock, sadness, anger, worry, but today it will be this.
I'd like to thank the organization for the opportunity to coach and manage at the league level, starting with the Witt Family Leadership Group, along with Mo and his front office staff. I will always be very, very appreciative of your trust in me. Let's move forward. Let's continue to grow together. And I wish everyone else all the best.
In 24 and a half hours, one of the most celebrated football recruits our area has ever known will make his decision on where to attend college. Luther Burton III will decide to play Mizzou in Georgia. Georgia offers 92,000 fans and a possible national title. Mizzou offers immediate playing time and a chance to be remembered in the region. Think about this also. When Luther arrives in Georgia or Mizzou, he will be making at least $100,000 from the name, image, and likeness deals now prevalent in college sports. Hey, I want to take you back to 1985. Tony Van Zandt was the best player in America. The Hazelwood Central running back was the parade player of the year. He could have gone anywhere in the country. He chose Mizzou. We talked, and I asked him if he had any advice for Luther.
I would tell Luther, in order to make Missouri back to the winning program that it used to be, we need guys like him to stay home and help build the program back up. I know it will bring more top out from the state of Missouri and even around the country, just want to play people with him.
The Blues will play in Arizona tonight against the Coyotes, and it will be Jake Neighbors' second NHL game. The first one went well for the 19-year-old. The Blues played him on the fourth line. He won 9 minutes. The reviews were good. What did Jake think?
Yeah, I want to be in the lineup every single night. And I think, I'm super happy to be back in tonight. It's good to get into a rhythm and, obviously feel a little bit more comfortable now, getting the first one out of the way and kind of know what to expect. So, looking to just go out there and keep improving and, get better every game that I get in the lineup.
On this day, that one of the wildest and wackiest eras in our town got its start. The Spirits of St. Louis made their ABA debut, and oh, look at that crowd. The last of their 2 seasons with books and documentaries came about as a result, along with the budding broadcaster, a fellow by the name of Bob Costas.
The entire life,
Basketball,
participated in this stadium for years.
And that is all our time for the side. Nightly news is next. We will see you back here at 6 o'clock. Be well.
5 on Your Side closed captioning is sponsored by Henry Kitchen and Bath, where home matters.
Wendy's Biggie Bag is our biggest deal with everything you ever wanted, like a junior bacon cheeseburger or double stack. Plus all this for not so biggie $5. Oh, secure the bag. The $5 Biggie Bag, only at Wendy's. You finally go. Lots of experience. Open for limited engagement. Starring Pavilion in St. Louis Galleria. Tickets StLouis.com. Be on and go.
Transform your life. Weight loss surgery can help you reach a healthy weight and keep it off. Studies show significant weight loss improves type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and reduces the risk for certain cancers. Start your journey to a healthier living. The accredited My New Step program at St. Luke's Care Hospital is a true center of excellence. Let our team support you on your way. Call My New Step at 866-573-LUES. That's 866-573-5673.
You're finally ready to upgrade the windows and patio doors in your home, but you just keep thinking, I just wish I could choose a company that would make it easy. I'm the Renewal by Anderson. We have the most hassle-free way to get this project done for you. With some other companies, you're dealing with a bunch of different people. When something goes wrong, the finger pointing begins. It's their fault. No, it's their fault. We manage the consultation, manufacturing, and installing and the no middleman, no finger pointing. Something else that makes us different, we're really good at making the project good. One way is with our great financing options. We have a lot of customers who are going to pay cash, but because our programs are so good, they decided to finance instead. And a lot of our customers actually pay off their project early. Now, see this? This is what you might do with other window installers. If this is how their installer cares for your windows, how will they care for your home? We're Renewal by Anderson, the replacement window division of Anderson. Based on their years of experience, our certified master installers are carefully selected and then passed through an intense classroom and field training program. And that training really pays off for you because oftentimes your installation can be completed in just one day. And that includes vacuuming out of your house. We're the replacement division of Anderson, the most recommended brand of windows in the country. Give us a call.
What my neighbors told me was Renewal by Anderson did the best work for them, and they came and they did what they said they were going to do, and we're very happy with the outcome. I'm very happy with the product.
Now, through October 31st, get the discount we almost never offer. Buy one window or patio door and get the next one 50% off. That's 50% off. And our financing can help make this project more affordable. No money down, no payments, and no interest for 2 years. This special discount and financing ends October 31st. Call today for a free appointment. 314-200-0123.
St. Louis's largest inventory. Save more at Centrum. Centrum.com. Tonight we're remembering Colin Powell, the barrier-breaking soldier and statesman dying after a battle with COVID. The 4-star general who became the nation's first black Secretary of State and chairman of the Joint Chiefs, dying from COVID complications while being treated for cancer. His family saying he was fully vaccinated. The White House ordering flags to half-staff as tributes pour in. Also tonight, the 16 American missionaries kidnapped in Haiti
including 5 children. The FBI now on the ground. What's being done to free them? The showdown over vaccine mandates in Chicago. Thousands of police officers refusing to comply. Will they be fired? The video that sparked nationwide horror. The trial of 3 white men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery. A black man, his family says he was out jogging, gets underway. Former President Donald Trump testified under oath for the first time since leaving the White House, and just in the lawsuit he has filed over the January 6th probe. Our NBC News exclusive, Miami's police chief, his first TV interview since he was fired just 6 months into the job, when he blames for the split and his biggest regret. And will the supply chain crisis force some students to go hungry? This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt. Good evening, everyone, from our Los Angeles studio tonight. Few have served this country in and out of uniform in such distinguished roles as Colin Powell. The country woke up this morning to news of his death, succumbing to complications of COVID at age 84. A child of immigrants who rose above racial barriers to forge his own American dream, even as he defended America and its ideals as its top general, a national security advisor, a Secretary of State. Powell was respected by Republicans and Democrats, but ultimately resisted calls that he run for president. As a leader, he had his regrets, but he framed military and foreign policy challenges through a set of principles still widely quoted today. Andrea Mitchell tonight on the passing of General Colin Powell.
He was the first black chairman of the Joint Chiefs, leading the charge in Desert Storm.
Our strategy to go after this army is very, very simple. First, we're going to cut it off, and then we're going to kill it.
Colin Powell, who started as an infantryman during 2 tours in Vietnam, instantly became a household name. Later as America's first black Secretary of State. Succumbing to COVID, Powell was fully vaccinated, but had suffered from prostate cancer and in recent years multiple myeloma and Parkinson's. Once one of America's most popular figures, many urged him to run for president.
Any regrets that you did wrong? You write in the book about how wrenching the decision was.
I had to think about it because it was expected of me as a soldier. But after a few weeks of it, I realized this is just not me. This is not what I believe.
His so-called pottery barn grew rapport. If you break it, you own it. Led him to privately oppose the Iraq War. We were with him in Afghanistan in 2002.
What is it going to take to put the country back together?
It's going to take the entire international community.
A low point a year later, making a case to the UN that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction, mistakenly accepting the CIA's pretext for invading Iraq. No weapons were ever found, an episode he said he deeply regretted. In 2008, Powell broke from the Republican Party, endorsing Barack Obama and strongly criticizing Donald Trump's challenge to Obama's birthright.
The correct answer is he's not a Muslim. He's a Christian. He's always been a Christian. But the really right answer is, what if he is? Is there something wrong with being a Muslim in this country? The answer is no, that's not America.
Tributes tonight from around the world, including President Biden.
Some of us are trying to protect truth. One of our great military leaders in Japan over a woman thesis.
But we often stayed out of the spotlight, one exception this moment 2 years ago.
When I walked up to him, I said, "You're General Colin Powell." He said, "Yes, I am."
I knew he was one of me. He was one of my guys.
When Powell's car got a flat, military veteran Anthony Mack, an amputee, pulling over to help him fix it. Powell later writing on Facebook, "Thanks, Anthony, you touched my soul and reminded me of what this country is all about. Let's stop screaming at each other. Let's just take care of each other."
And Andrea, we're also learning General Powell's wife has COVID and is recovering.
Right, Lester, Alma Powell is recovering nicely at home. Meanwhile, General Powell is rightly being celebrated for his historic military and foreign policy achievements, but his legacy is also his center at City College in New York, which educates so many immigrant and first-generation children like him, and his appeals to heal our racial and political divides. Lester.
Andrea Mitchell tonight, thank you. In Haiti this evening, the FBI is part of the urgent effort to find a group of missionaries and their families, 16 of them Americans who were kidnapped over the weekend. The abductions exposing the depths of Haiti's chaos. Sam Rock has the latest.
48 hours after the start of an international crisis, one day after an FBI team touched down in Haiti,
Still, no answers about whether 17 kidnapped missionaries will be rescued or how.
The FBI is part of a coordinated U.S. government effort to get the U.S. citizens involved to safety.
Part of that effort, a State Department team now also on the ground. The Ohio-based Christian Aid Ministries says among those abducted are 16 Americans, 5 of whom are children. On the streets of Port-au-Prince and Miami today, calls for help for those living in violence.
You get out.
Immigrants' rights protesters lying on pavement demanding an end to Haitian deportations after earthquakes, a presidential assassination, and kidnappings forced men to flee.
Our nephews and nieces, don't worry, they will not survive another week, month, year in Haiti.
Every day you live in Haiti, you're lucky. Every single day you live in Haiti, you see another day you're lucky.
The wave of kidnappings appears to be skyrocketing. A UN report identifies around 330 kidnappings in the first 8 months of the year, or 100 more than all of last year. But research out of Haiti points to much larger figures, with 600 plus kidnappings through September, including a threefold increase in just 3 months. Tessa Petit with the Florida Immigrant Coalition was born and raised in Haiti.
It is like living in a war zone. You don't know when you're going to get shot at. You don't know when you're going to get kidnapped.
Dr. Richard Frichet runs this hospital near Port-au-Prince, where it's believed armed gangs control half the city. He has to negotiate with them to get oxygen tanks for COVID patients.
It's amazing because you can have 40 dead people in your hospital in a matter of hours if you don't succeed. And it's very complex when you have to go through a gang to get the oxygen.
And Sam, what do we know about the gang accused of kidnapping the missionaries?
Officials say it is the same gang that kidnapped 5 priests and 2 nuns a number of months ago after using tactics like hijacking people from cars and snatching them from buses, taking brutality, even in an already lawless country, to new levels. Lester?
Sam Brock tonight, thank you. In Chicago this evening, thousands of police officers have still not declared their COVID vaccine status, despite a Friday deadline, and now face being sent home without pay. Megan Fitzgerald has more on the vaccine battle.
Tonight, fallout in the city of Chicago.
You're willing to get fired sober? Yes, I am. I hope I don't, obviously. But I really believe I'm doing it right now.
Police Sergeant Rick Nigro says he won't be forced to get COVID shots, defying the mayor's vaccine mandate that went into effect over the weekend.
There's too much government control in that. They're going to tell me what I'm going to put in my mouth. And the result is you're going to terminate me?
Termination on the line for possibly thousands more, as only 64% of the force is fully vaccinated.
How many officers have not complied with the mayor's orders?
The unofficial number we have is about over 3,200, so about a third of the department.
Continuing a months-long standoff with Mayor Lord Lightfoot at a time when crime in the city is surging.
They're not going to risk their careers by being supported.
Similar mandates taking effect across the country. In Seattle, a state trooper snapped, splitting in a video that's gone viral.
This is the last time you'll eliminate a state trooper.
Seattle has seen resistance, but so far, 91% of the force is vaccinated.
Our goal here is not to lose employees. Our goal is to get everybody vaccinated.
In Los Angeles, a county-wide mandate goes into effect on Wednesday, but the sheriff says he won't enforce it.
I don't want to be in a position to lose 5-10% of my workforce overnight on a vaccine mandate, while at the same time our bare bones with funding efforts.
Delta Airlines not enforcing a mandate either, instead charging employees who don't get vaccinated $200 a month. So far, the company reporting 90% compliance. But the struggle to vaccinate the country continues, even though resistance can come at a cost.
Here in Chicago, there is another option for officers who don't want to get vaccinated. The mayor is allowing them to get bi-weekly COVID tests through December 31st, but it's at the officer's expense. Lester?
Megan Fitzgerald, thank you. Former President Trump appeared in a videotape deposition today answering questions under oath in a lawsuit brought by protesters who claim they were assaulted by Trump's security guards in 2015. The demonstrators at Trump Tower were protesting his comments on immigration. A key question, did those comments encourage violence? Separately, Mr. Trump filed a lawsuit against the January 6th Congressional Committee and the National Archives, trying to block any handover of documents the committee wants as it investigates the Capitol riot. The lawsuit says the documents should be protected by executive privilege. In just 60 seconds, a murder trial begins for three men accused of killing Ahmaud Arbery in a case that sparked worldwide outrage. And one of the highest profile police chiefs speaks out exclusively after getting fired.
Careful ideas that remain in the dark. But with our new multi-cloud experience, you have the flexibility you need to unveil them.
That's the thing about clouds, you see, they don't happen on your schedule. I mean, take the chestnut. It doesn't just say, all red powered, so there's no other time for a jolly bit of window cracking. Oh, I mean, if they did, you wouldn't need a Geico claim stick that's available 24/7. The result of tell chestnuts don't talk. Or maybe they're just really quiet.
Geico, your claims team is here for you 24/7.
Well, things to do, Mr. Chestnut, so,
All right, we're back now with a story what is certain to be an intense and emotional murder trial. Three white men charged with killing Ahmaud Arbery, a black man shot to death in Brunswick, Georgia. Katie Beck is there tonight.
Many have waited to see this day in court, the start of the Ahmaud Arbery trial. The courthouse just a short distance from where 25-year-old Arbery was shot and killed. His family says while jogging in a residential neighborhood. Jury selection could take up to 2 weeks. The court summoning a total of 1,000 people in the small rural community, casting a wide net to ensure the case that sparked national outrage had seen 12 impartial jurors and 4 alternates. 3 men are charged with Arbery's murder, father and son Greg and Travis McMichael, who armed themselves and pursued Arbery, and William Roddy Bryan, a neighbor who joined the chase and recorded cell phone video of the incident. The McMichaels have said they thought Arbery was a burglar, responsible for a string of recent thefts in their area, while Bryan has argued he was just a witness. In a statement, Bryan's defense attorney Kevin Goff telling NBC News, Roddy Bryan looks forward to jury selection, the trial of his case, and to returning home afterwards to his family. Attorney for Arbery's father, Ben Crump, feels optimistic about the case.
The video is the most important witness in this entire case.
A case underway, a story now returning to the national spotlight as a final chapter begins. Katie Beck, NBC News, Brunswick, Georgia.
That's our NBC News exclusive. One of the nation's most outspoken advocates for police reform is out of a job. NBC police chief joining a long line of top cops who recently left their posts. Tonight, he speaks out to Gabe Gutierrez.
Miami's mayor once called him the Michael Jordan of police chiefs, but tonight Art Acevedo is out of a job after saying he was fired in just 6 months into his tenure. Pretty embarrassing episode of the 35 years career. He claims he was fighting corruption, punished for sending a memo accusing city commissioners of interfering with investigations. But his critics say Acevedo lost the trust of the rank and file. Today, the day protest threatened suspension of unvaccinated officers and said the force was run by the Cuban mafia. And he regrets saying that. Yes, because it was used for political gain by some. But also, I do believe that members of the exec committee, some of them, I'm part of that exec committee, that it was hurtful to them. Acevedo had become a national advocate for police reform after leading departments in California, Austin, and Houston. But he also drew intense criticism there after a botched drug raid.
Let me list a couple of candidates that people have outspoken.
Yes.
Brash.
I can't be honest. I would say it's a very public that this position. Yes.
What is your biggest regret during your tenure here?
I did my homework before I couldn't come here. To continue his career in public service, father. I'm not a quitter. My mother and dad didn't come here for us to be quitters. Not quitting.
Observation now becomes the 40th police chief nationwide for the part of an action.
WTRs in Miami, thank you. Up next, for a school cafeteria facing critical supply problems. We'll talk about the potential impact on kids.
Welcome to the lifestyle that smart and savvy. When it comes to saving money, the Marshalls are masterful. But back in the day, that was today, savings is what drives them. That's why they chose Consumer Cellular. You live and learn. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's carriers for half the cost. In fact, all text and data starting at $20 a month. Members get exclusive discounts. Switch today and get $100. Voltaire and Andreas Paint got his moves back.
An alternative to pills, Voltaren is the first full prescription strength gel for powerful arthritis pain relief. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Do I need to pre-treat my laundry? Nope. With Tide Pods, you don't need to worry. The pre-treaters are built in. Tide Pods dissolve even when the water is freezing. Nice. If it's got Indeed Instant Match instantly delivers quality candidates matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/hire.
Customize your soul, so you only pay for what you get. Sorry? You're an animal! Only pay for what you eat. Pistachios. Get your protein from a greener source. Wonderful pistachios, the original plant-based protein.
Wealth is your first big investment. Work is a partner to help share the load. Wealth is saving a little extra. Worth is knowing is never too late or too early. Wealth helps you retire. Worth is knowing that. Principle for all it's worth. For people who could use a triple lift serum with pure collagen that's on physically in just 4 weeks. Neutrogena for people with skin.
What makes new Salonpas Arthritis Gel so good for arthritis pain? Salonpas contains the most prescribed topical pain relief period. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
How does it feel to have an Angie home? Like savoring a midnight snack in your newly renovated dream kitchen. Get started on your next home project at Angie.com or download the Angie mobile app today. Make your home an Angie home. Angie, and done.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true, with diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this, now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take control of your sight.
Well, we are all feeling impact of the ongoing supply chain crisis, and now it's jeopardizing a critical lifeline for students nationwide. Stephanie ruled out with the price you pay.
For school districts across the country, serving lunch is becoming a tall order.
It just never been like this. So this is really truly an honor.
We are out of a few items today. Supply chain issues and price hikes are impacting everything from vegetables to utensils and lunchrooms, including Jefferson County, Kentucky.
It's not just in produce, it's not just supplies, it's across all, and it's coming multiple times a day, multiple times a week sometimes.
According to a recent survey of 1,400 school nutrition directors, nearly all of
concerned about supply chain issues, and 90% worried about staffing shortages. Schools are reliant on government funding to break even on meals. Last year alone, they served 330 million lunches per month. Lunchers face the additional challenge of meeting USDA nutritional guidelines to get that vital funding while staying on budget.
Our supply chains in many areas have been disrupted. Schools really do have to plan their meals in advance.
And experts hope there's an end in sight for logistics snags and child hunger.
Schools, once they find those creative ways, they will be able to offer more students the meals that they need to increase food security.
Cooking up solutions for a new school year. Stephanie Rule, NBC News.
China is denying a report that it tested a new hypersonic missile, catching American intelligence by surprise. Instead, China insists it was testing a new spacecraft. It comes amid the growing rivalry between the U.S. and China. Tonight, Keir Simmons takes us to an ancient Greek port that's become a symbol of that very modern struggle in our series, Behind the Wall.
With the supply chain crisis putting a spotlight on ports around the world, China's outsized role in the global economy is front and center. We are in Greece, where a Chinese state-owned shipping company, COSCO, owns a majority of this port, and business is booming. The port across Athens then is as ancient as the city itself. We weren't allowed to film at the port. COSCO didn't respond to our request for an interview, so we took to the sea. A Chinese COSCO ship is waiting to dock. Another is unloading. This port is one of many major infrastructure projects carried out by Chinese companies, always with the backing of Beijing. China's growing footprint here, a good thing to some.
By news today, it is the fastest growing port of the world, thanks to the management of COSCO.
These Greek dock workers disagree.
Greediness increase and this is affecting our income, it's affecting our rights, it's affecting our safety.
The Chinese have gained a Greek port, but they don't have Greek hearts.
Yes.
Chinese companies have spent billions of dollars on ports like Piraeus, in Peru, Djibouti, Sri Lanka, Pakistan, and Israel, according to data compiled by conservative think tank AEI. And now Beijing is considering pouring state money into a major port in Iran.
This is all about increasing global connectivity such that China is at the center of worldwide trade, financial, and technology networks. Xi Jinping's vision is for a China-centric Eastern Hemisphere at the east, and possibly for Chinese preeminence worldwide.
Experts say the US is offering no real competition to China when it comes to these ports worldwide.
This is a story not just about Chinese activity, but about American inactivity.
But today, China's global investments are under increasing scrutiny. Some, like the port in Greece, are lucrative and seem strategically smart.
What Piraeus gives them is an entryway into Europe.
But experts say many look like they could be bad business deals, with China facing economic problems of its own. Today's international shipping crisis will test China's global strength, as well as the world economy. Keir Simmons, NBC News, Athens, Greece.
Up next for us tonight, some reflections on Colin Powell, the American dream, and the barriers he broke.
Age-related macular degeneration may lead to severe vision loss.
So the National Eye Institute did 20 years of clinical studies on a formula found in Preservision.
If it were my vision, I'd ask my doctor about Preservision.
It's the most studied eye vitamin brand.
If it were my vision, I'd look into Preservision.
Preservision A-Lens 2 contains the exact nutrient formula recommended by the NEI to help reduce the risk of moderate to advanced AMD progression.
I have AMD. It is my vision, so my plan includes Preservision.
So, when do you all go home?
We're here for you 24/7.
How terrifying.
Protection so good that it's scary, the unexpected. Now playing everywhere.
plus have high blood pressure. They may not be able to take just anything for pain. That's why doctors recommend Tylenol. It won't raise blood pressure the way their Advil or Motrin sometimes can. For trusted relief, trust Tylenol.
In 2016, I was working at a couple of years later, my mother passed away. After taking care of them, I knew that I really wanted to become a nurse. Amazon helped me with training and tuition. I'm a medical assistant, and I'm studying to become a registered nurse. Hindi ko kayo makakalimutan.
An F-150 isn't an F-150 because of the name on the tailgate. It's an F-150 because it's built for tough, built to haul for, built to tow for the people who count on it. Because they know that brawn it takes brains and brawn to get it done right. Tough this one can only be called F-150.
We're eating and drinking foods and beverages that are very acidic. It can soften the enamel. Pro-enamel repair, what it's doing is driving more mineral deep into the enamel surface that's going to help actively repair. Pro-enamel is taking it to another level.
This is more than just a building. It's an AI-powered investment firm with billions. A cutting-edge data security enterprise. Yes, with a slide. A perfect location for the world's first one-hour delivery. An inspiration for the next workout call. And enough space for a pecan-based nutritious bar. It can happen because there's space for anything on Lubricant, the most popular place to find space. Tomorrow, a Today exclusive, Katie Curran back in Studio 1A, and she opens up about a new chapter in her life, her career, her new memoir, Going There. Tomorrow, only on Today.
Next, the chick, the young woman's bright future cut short after moving to North St. Louis. We hear from her father. Plus, after the death of Colin Powell, a local man shared his memories of working with him during 9/11.
Friday, 98 Central. Finally, Colin Powell took great pride in his family story, and he hoped in his achievements others would build their own success. Colin Powell soared to historic heights. That journey from his childhood in the South Bronx, always with him.
I'm the son of immigrants. My parents came here on banana boats from Jamaica, and all they said to me was, do your very, very best, and always make sure that you run this country of ours.
And he did, breaking so many barriers along the way. The young man who went to still segregated Georgia for basic training at Fort Benning, rising to become the first black national security advisor, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and Secretary of State.
They will say that Colin Powell, first African American, ever hold the position of Secretary of State. And I'm glad they will say that. I want to repeat it. I want to repeat it because I hope it will give inspiration to young African Americans coming along, but beyond that, all young Americans coming along.
That message he'd often deliver to America's kids himself.
Don't anyone ever change you are eliminated. Because you're black, because you're all the things that should ever be eliminated is your own reason.
A great American and his words that continue to lift and inspire. That's Nightly News for this Monday. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'm Lester Holt. Please take care of yourself and each other. Good night.
That's not only the forefather to lose his child. She didn't deserve to die while I was there.
That father left heartbroken after the death of his 19-year-old daughter, shot and killed this weekend in North St. Louis. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Ann Albrecht. And I'm Kelly Jackson. Mike has the week off. Tonight, a father who has fought and organized for a safer community heartbreakingly grieves for his teenage daughter, the latest victim of violence. 5 News 5's Ryan Henson joins us live at St. Louis Police Headquarters. Such a heartbreaking story, Ryan.
Kelly, it was
heartbreaking. Look at the father, he says he's numb, especially because he's given a lot of his life and his daughter for that road to helping the community out. Now, one thing we do know is that going off his daughter's big heart, she was actually taking some of the younger co-workers home early Sunday morning when this shoot happened. A shooting at 1:15 Sunday morning shattered the night silence on the corner of the church in McLaren early Sunday morning. And that wasn't the only thing destroyed. A 19-year-old's dream and a father's strength were taken by the government.
She loves you more. She loves you more. And if she loves you more, that means she would live and do whatever she could.
Her father, Atif Mar, says his daughter Isis had a big heart. The 2020 Cardinal Ritter College prep grad began working to pay her way through nursing school, so her parents didn't have to put up a penny.
It's a empty feeling. So yeah, no, confusion.
She was giving a few co-workers a ride home when they were shot.
I don't know what transpired, other than it wasn't meant for her. So our young women need to watch the company they keep.
The tragedy is ironic because his father and Isis both have dedicated themselves to making the community a safer place. For the past 15 years, Mar has been organizing Stop the Violence event at Wolves Recreation, and Isis was never far behind.
And now it has touched my house. Those games, words they meant something to me because my community means something to me. It does it a little deeper yesterday. Gut wrenching. Gut wrenching deep.
As police search for the person responsible for taking away such a promising life, her father is putting his faith in higher hands.
Whoever did this, they gotta live with it the same way I have to live with it. And we let God deal with it.
So right now, we know that there's a $1,000 reward for any information leading to the arrest of the person responsible. And sadly, Isis wasn't the only victim in this case. 3 other people were actually injured during the shooting. We don't have an update on their status. One message from this father to other parents out there watching right now this evening. He says, love your kids and your family like it's your last day, because you never know when it will be. I'm right here to Pop on your side.
Wise words, Ryan. Thank you. Let's get a look at some of the homicide totals this year compared to recent years. There have been 152 homicides in the city of St. Louis this year. Last year, the number was 263, 494, 2018, 186, 2017, 205. In the Kansas Juvenile Detention Center over the weekend, police sources tell us one of the teens also escaped in July. Saturday night, a 17-year-old asked to get a drink of water. After he was released from his cell, he entered the control room and unlocked other cells. Then they grabbed keys and assaulted several staff members while getting out of the building. The teen. In 2019, the historic Sumner High School in the Bell neighborhood was one of the 11 St. Louis public schools at risk of closing. Pepper Baker shares how a few community organizations bound together to come up with a plan to keep it open. In the 40s and 50s, Sumner High School in DeVille peaked at about 5,000 students. Decades later, there's less than 200 enrolled. In 2019, St. Louis Public Schools listed Sumner as one of the 11 schools at risk of closing.
It is really unfortunate that you would try to close Sumner High School, given its legacy and its importance to the Black community and DeVille.
Aaron Williams, member of the For the Bill organization, submitted a proposal to the school board to keep the first Black high school west of the Mississippi River open. St. Louis Public Schools superintendent approved the proposal to keep Sumner High School open if enrollment increased by 10% each year over 3 years.
Within one full student cycle, so with the incoming freshman year, by the time they graduate, to have this school enrollment back up over 400 students.
He plans to do that by offering new arts elective courses. Williams established a 16-person advisory council with Vice Chair Tom Ridgely from the St. Louis Shakespeare Festival and hired new arts program director Jermaine Smith to help.
For year one, there's 4 arts pathways. There's dance, drama, music, and visual arts. We're hoping to add fashion, and especially that activism piece in year 2.
We always talk about having the kids on the pipeline to prison. Well, I'm creating a new pipeline.
the pipeline to success through media. So now you have a pipeline through going from high school to college to even possible job. We need to change the narrative about summer high school. We need people to believe that what's going on within these four walls is preparing students to, be productive citizens.
In St. Louis, Pepper Baker, I'm on your side. Let's check in with Scott Connell. Another beautiful fall afternoon, and you know what? It was nice to see all of the sun to start off the week.
Yeah, we had a beautiful day yesterday. Sunshine Saturday, sunshine Sunday, sunshine today. There's more on the way tomorrow, but a couple of a few high clouds into the mix. Right now, looking into Main Street in St. Charles, we are finding quiet conditions. Temperatures are in the lower 70s right now in the St. Louis area. Mainly clear across Missouri and Illinois, and the odds are we stay that way through the evening hours. We'll have a quick drop in those temperatures back into the mid-50s by this evening. You should take a look over downtown St. Louis. Early warmth this week during the afternoon hours. Late Wednesday, things start to change. That's when our rain chances go up a bit, and we are looking at some rain chances for the upcoming weekend. We're going to break down the timing of all of that coming up in just a few minutes.
Today, we are hearing from Mike Schill for the first time since he was fired as Cardinals team manager. Sports director Frank Cusimano joins us now, and Frank, he got emotional, really for a good chunk. It seemed like he was fighting back those tears.
Yes, and it was a difficult 15-minute press conference today. I'm sure there was just a small part of Mike Schill who wanted to say today, I did a good job. I shouldn't have been fired. And maybe taking a shot at the Cardinals. But that is not Mike Schill. He took the high road. Schill was originally going to make a statement. He decided to do a Zoom, but he did not take any questions from reporters. He spent most of the Zoom just thanking the organization and many others for the opportunity he got.
This group and others invested in me and taught me what it takes in all areas to achieve at the highest level. The conversations were full of wisdom, encouragement, accountability, and at times some hard truths and tough love. At every turn, regardless of how challenging the conversations were, it was always about what's best for the Cardinals and the St. Louis Cardinals organization.
And with that gracious exodus, that will likely land him another wonderful job in baseball. And I think he deserves it.
Absolutely right. Well, struggling to stay open during the pandemic, the that has a popular restaurant closing for good. Hunting season begins in Missouri. A biologist explains why the state needs it, especially right now.
Clapping Your Side Newscast is brought to you by Glendale Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram, just a quarter mile east of Lindbergh on Manchester. See daily deals at goodcars.com. That's goodcars.com. To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali, when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali causes lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
If you are looking for a home loan, and now is the time to be looking. First Community is one of the area's largest home loan lenders. New listings change daily, so get pre-approved, and you'll be ready to make an immediate offer when you find the perfect place. Use the First Community mobile app and apply right on your phone with just a few easy steps. You can even set up a rate watch, so when interest rates change, you will get alerts immediately. So apply today. First Community, for all your savings and all your loans.
Accidents don't just happen 9 to 5. They happen when you least expect them. Nights, weekends, holidays, you name it. That's why the team at Goldblatt Singer is here for you 24/7. Seriously injured? Call Goldblatt Singer.
Now at Metro Lighting, save 20% on any light fixture or ceiling fan with the bonus coupon at MetroLightingCenters.com. Plus 50% off clearance lights and fans.
America's largest injury firm is also your local law firm. There's only one Morgan & Morgan.
A popular St. Louis County restaurant is closing for good. Balducci's has been serving fabulous Italian food for more than 46 years in Maryland Heights, like deep dish pizza, sandwiches, and salads. The owners say there's just not enough staff to stay open.
Little by little, it's just drying up. And you can't run an operation when you're working people to death because it just doesn't work, because it's not feasible to show a profit and sustain business. So the reason is really we can't find cover.
Other restaurants in the St. Louis area and across the country have also been dealing with staffing shortages.
Missouri's first ever bear hunting season starts today. More than 6,000 people applied for a permit. The state only accepted 400 at random. The season is 10 days long. It ends on the 27th. And there's a cap. Only 40 black bears can be hunted statewide. An expert says right now, it's the perfect time to hunt.
Our bear population here in Missouri is growing quite steadily at this point. And so we've determined that it's reached a point where it can sustain a very limited and highly regulated harvest.
There have been a number of bear sightings in the St. Louis area this year. Many of them wandering through backyards and neighborhoods. One bear in Brentwood had to be tranquilized and then taken to a safer spot in the wild.
A member of the Pulitzer family is donating 22 masterpieces to the St. Louis Art Museum. The art includes works from Picasso, Andy Warhol, George Rock, and so many more. Museum curator and board member Emily Pulitzer is the one gifting them. She and her family have been supporting the museum for decades.
Up next, a special agent describes his memories of working with former Secretary of State Colin Powell. Frank D'Amato explains what the Blues will be focusing on as they go for 2 wins in a row tonight in Arizona. That's later in St. Louis.
I'm Andy Cohen, and I'm from St. Louis. Go see the arch. There's a beautiful new park underneath it. It is so grammable, you won't believe it. And it's one of the wonders of this country. I can't believe it exists.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside. But if you have diabetes, there could be some not so pretty stuff going on the inside. It's true. If you have diabetes, you know high blood sugar is the root of the problem. But that excess sugar can cause the blood vessels to be seriously damaged. And when that happens, this could happen. Vision loss or even blindness. That's right. Diabetic retinopathy is a leading cause of blindness for adults in the U.S. But even though you can't see it, there is something you can do about it. Remember this. Now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is an incredibly important part of your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Just say to yourself, now I see. Then go see an eye care specialist. Visit nowic.com to get the facts about diabetes, your eyes, and what you can do next to take control of your sight. Brought to you by Regeneron.
For you, life seemed to stand still this year, except for the pain in your hip. When you can't do what you love to do, it's time to take care of it. If you've put off the joint replacement you need this year, now is the time. Mercy's experts are ready to safely replace your hip, so you can live without pain. Get back to what you love, because life's too short to wait. To learn more, visit mercy.net/goodhip.
Why search all over St. Louis for an all-wheel drive when your Gateway Honda dealer has the SUVs you've got to see? New Hondas are coming in every day, and that means big deals on America's best value brand, most American-made brand, and the most fuel-efficient brand on the road, including HRV, CRV, and Pilot. And right now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing on the Honda Pilot. For details, visit GatewayHondaDealers.com today.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Lewis, and I'm from St. Louis. St. Louis has it all from A to Z. Come to St. Louis for the history, for the music, for the people, and for the fun. I love coming home.
Former Secretary of State Colin Powell has died after battling COVID. He made history as the first black Secretary of State under President George W. Bush. He also served 2 tours in Vietnam, became a 4-star general, and worked under Presidents Reagan, both Bushes, and Clinton. Powell's family says he was fully vaccinated. He had a condition that made him at severe risk for COVID, multiple myeloma, a cancer that forms in a type of white blood cell. A Lincoln County man has a personal connection to Colin Powell. Bill Womack worked with him as a diplomatic security special agent for the State Department during the terrorist attacks of 9/11. He shared his memories of Powell with 5 Minute Science Christine Byers.
One of Bill Womack's first assignments as a diplomatic security special agent for the State Department was to Colin Powell's detail.
So I was the lead advance, they call it. So I was responsible for all the security infrastructure for all of the meetings that he was attending.
On September 11th, plans abruptly changed.
We were on an overseas trip. I was working at his house. We took him straight to the White House. And he and President Bush were in the National Security Council. We were meeting there. We took him back to his home. I think about it all. It was surreal. There wasn't a soul in the streets. Everything was just completely shut down.
Then it was time to visit Ground Zero.
What was he like when he was there?
He was a true general, right? He had his military bearing. You could clearly tell through that whole cabinet. We meant business.
Only a few days had passed since the World Trade Center towers fell when he arrived.
I can tell you there's a smolder and we still have I'll never forget the smell. I don't know if it was burnt steel or what. I don't know. It was a gut wrenching.
So he really, I guess, shined in that moment.
I think so. Yeah, I think we all shined.
Months after the terrorist attack, Womack went with Powell for the opening of the embassy in Kabul, Afghanistan.
It was just a cool moment from a State Department perspective, because now we're kind of putting a placeholder in a country that needed our assistance. We're stuck to Powell out there and delivering his remarks.
In all, Womack spent 2 years assigned to Powell's detail.
It was an interesting time for him. I'm glad to be part of it.
Christine Byers, 5 Minute Science.
Womack shares many more experiences during his interview with Christine, including his role investigating the Boston Marathon bombing. You can check out her full report on KSDK.com. Let's check in with Scott again. And Scott, is the weather looking pretty fall-like for most of the week, or we're going to have a couple bugs of heat?
We're warm for this time of year anyway, for the next couple of days. Afternoon temperatures are back in the 70s, and we've had the bright skies today, still looking at that sun setting now. The nearly full moon rising off to the east of St. Louis, when we actually at full moon here Wednesday. We'll probably have clouds and not really have the best view of it. Our weather system for Wednesday is the one that's out here in the Bermuda Mountain region. That's our focus right now for what will impact us here for the middle part of the week. But it's not going to be a huge rainmaker for most of us. In fact, we have the clear skies right now. Looking out our west, just some high clouds rolling across Kansas and into high clouds are headed here as we push into tomorrow. Right now over in Belleville, 66 degrees, sun setting, pretty clear sky around the St. Louis area. Winds are still fairly light too, even out of the south today. Upper 60s, lower 70s. We will drop quickly with the dry air and the clear skies this evening. And with the cooler temperatures that we've had, the mosquito forecast in the medium range here. Light waves, still warm in the afternoon. Tomorrow will start out, it's out about 50. If you work outside, it's high clouds that we're dealing with morning till about midday. It's tend to clear out. And we're in the 70s, which you're just going to hear the average high in the upper 60s. Get into Wednesday, I also start to think, especially more than last time, this Wednesday morning, there could be a couple of sprinkles. It's this front later in the day that slides in. Moisture is really limited to this. We're not dragging a lot of humid air up ahead of this front. So the showers that develop, and maybe a rumble or two of thunder, will be scattered along the front. Most of us will see it as a long way. Right now, it's near full roof, 73 degrees current temperature. High today, 77. Well, this morning, down to 48, so we're averaging above the typical values. That's going to be typical a couple of days. I've read the story pretty much all month long. It's 7 degrees on average so far this month. 40s outlying areas around 50 and tomorrow back into the 70s. We held it back just a little bit tomorrow since we had that high cloud coming through the morning hours. It may slow our warming, but then it'll become mostly sunny in the afternoon. The late day showers are here on Wednesday, but most of the days on the dry side, and it's warm too. The wind out of the south-southwest, we're up to 77, 60s. For the end of the week, into the weekend, and there is a rain chance, it looks like, this weekend on Sunday. By Sunday, another weather system is out in the Pacific will be making its way here.
All right, Scott, let's check on Frank again with sports.
Who cares if the Avalanche didn't have their best two players on Saturday? The Blues went to Colorado, where many think is the home of the best in hockey, and they won. What do you do for an encore? They win tonight in Phoenix. Any road win is satisfying, but doing it at the home of the team that knocked you out of last year's playoffs is even more so. But if you're coached like Craig Berube, well, you're looking at areas and ways to improve. What is it for tonight, Coach?
Don't blame the score. I think maybe we played the score a little bit last game, and it was kind of a different situation with. We had that power play, and we ended up turning it over and taking a penalty on the play. We got to be more sharp there.
So in less than 24 hours, the guy behind me is going to make a college choice. And many think that Luther Burden's decision tomorrow is more important than any game that Mizzou will play this season. He's the best wide receiver in America, and he will either choose Mizzou or Georgia. And Georgia rolled out the red carpet for Luther, his father, and his sister this weekend in Athens. He was driven around all weekend in SUV limos. He ate at the finest restaurants, steak and barbecue. He was on the field and in the locker room in Athens. Head coach Kirby Smart told him, "We don't rebuild in Georgia, we reload." The Cardinals basically do the same thing. However, they'll be for a new manager. Mike Schilt held a Zoom press conference today. He did not take questions from the media. He did take the high road.
Out of respect for the organization and people that run it, I can only express my gratitude and all the philosophies that were shared over many years, folks who worked together, allowed us to part ways as professional friends.
We wish Mike Schilt nothing but good luck and will be a candidate for the San Diego Padres opening for their manager spot. That'll do it, sports. I'm Frank Simano.
Frank, thank you. It's still a great before the new MLS Stadium opens. When you can buy some of the best seats for the 2023 season.
Properly working rain gutters can cause expensive damage to your home, including basements and foundations, even toxic mold and wood rot. Gutter Helmet inspects and installs their patented gutter cover over your existing gutter, saving you a ton of money. Call today for a free no-obligation estimate.
Welcome to Hollywood! What's your dream?
From the big screen to the Broadway stage, Pretty Woman the musical. Coming to the fabulous Fox Theater November 16th through the 28th in the U.S. Bank Broadway series. Get tickets at MetroTix.com.
We're Bill and Susan Dean from Stanley Steamer.
Most carpet cleaners use a portable machine like the kind you can run. Not much power, not much steam pressure or suction. Kind of like not using enough water in your washing machine.
Some of our competitors make a big deal about their carpet drying in 2 to 3 hours instead of 2 or 3 days, but they offer steam cleaning if your carpets are really dirty. Others saying their basic system doesn't work that well? I think so.
Our full-time employees are drug tested and criminal background checked, so you'll feel comfortable having them in your home. Call 1-800-STEAMER.
I'm Maria, and I'm in the practical nursing program at St. Louis College of Health Careers. My favorite class is Nursing Fundamentals. I've learned how to start IV, do tracheostomy care, and head-to-toe assessment.
I'm going in with the respiratory therapy program. When I graduate, I plan on going into trauma. I like the fast pace, and I work well under pressure.
My name is Jeremy, and I'm in the medical assisting program. From online to labs, my instructors have been great.
St. Louis College of Health Careers, developing St. Louis's healthcare heroes.
Gutters can cause serious damage to your home. Have you looked at your gutters lately? Take a look. If you have a water problem, you can save thousands of dollars in repairs by calling Gutter Help. Save yourself the grief and costly repairs. Call today for a free estimate.
Hey, David. Let's clean out our closets and do some good on October 24th. My foundation and Operations Research are proud to partner with 5 on Your Side for the 21st annual Waters Warm-Up Coat Drive, collecting new and gently used coats of any size for those in need. On October 24th from noon to 3, drive through and drop off children at any one of the participating Chick-fil-A locations. Everything collected stays right here in St. Louis. Go to ksdk.com/coat drive for more information.
Soccer fans, get ready. St. Louis City Soccer Club season tickets go on sale tomorrow. The tickets that are going on sale for the 2023 season, since the new MLS stadium is still under construction. Now, these tickets that are going on sale, they are for the supporter section. That's where there's just kind of general seating, no assigned seats, would be behind the north goal, where everyone's going to be standing and cheering and stuff going on. The seats are deep, so you'll get a good view. You can kind of see those there. You can buy them starting tomorrow through ticket company SeatGeek. The price is $391 for the whole season per ticket. General tickets will go on sale in the spring. All right, Redbird, the St. Louis Cardinal mascot, is a finalist with the Mascot Hall of Fame. Did not even know there was such a thing. You can help them go all the way. Vote now through October 23rd. Just text the word Redbird to 314-425-5355 for a link, and you can get one vote per day. And the winner will be announced November 5th. So come on, St. Louis. Give Redbird the love. Yeah, at least Redbird's in the postseason. He's in the playoffs. Yeah, all right. And, if you're still playing some softball or if you're doing some fun stuff outside, it's a great evening across the West area. Look at temperatures quickly dropping back through the 60s. All right. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to the news. We hope you join us again tonight at 10.
5 on Your Side closed captioning is sponsored by Sarah Honda. We'll pay top dollar for your car. Get a real offer in minutes. Call or visit selltosarah.com today.
What makes new Salonpas arthritis gel so good for arthritis pain? Salonpas contains the most prescribed topical pain relief ingredient. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
When I'm up on stage, singing and doing my thing, I feel confident, but nobody feels that way when they're picking a Medicare plan. The good news is, Anthem's Medicare specialists are here to help. Just call them today at the number on the screen. They have plans with $0 monthly premiums, as low as $0 copays for prescriptions, dental, vision, and hearing coverage. You gotta take care of those ears, and much more. When you call this number, an Anthem specialist will also tell you about the plans with extra benefits, like free prescription drug delivery, and online doctor visits 24/7, free exercise classes, you gotta keep moving, and even money towards over-the-counter health products. All this from the Medicare coverage or doctor's trust. Talking with a specialist can help you feel confident that you're making the right choice.
Call 844-575-BLUE. That's 844-575-BLUE.
You just need to call. Don't put it off any longer.
Don't miss our 2 biggest days to save at Ashley Home Store. Friday and Saturday only. Save 25% off store-wide with no minimum purchase. Or get 0% interest for 5 years with no minimum purchase and no money down. 2 days only at Ashley Home Store.
When your family gathers around a shakaroni for Papa John's, you're sharing more than extra cheese and pepperoni. You're sharing scholarships, meals, and laughter. Because $1 from every shakaroni goes to charity. That's pizza with a purpose.
I do anything.
Is this little too much?
It's our 2 biggest days to save at Ashley Home Store. Friday and Saturday only. Save 25% off store-wide with no minimum purchase. Find upholstered sofas starting at $489. Or get 0% interest for 5 years, 2 days only at Ashley Home Store. It's Great American Cities, and we're at America's
San Diego.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the stars of America's Day. Sing that Vanna White.
Thanks, everybody. Celebrating Great American Cities this week. Boy, we traveled a lot. San Diego tonight. Anytime, head over there. Hi, gang. Good to see you all. Get ready for those devices. We're going to give away some money here. $1,000 to be exact. On the map. Beautiful category. And here we go. And it's worth Southern California. Yeah, there you go. Simple as that. Okay, put that down for a moment. Relax. Rick Summery, Escondido, California. All our players from the San Diego area. So, tell us about your life in Escondido.
Yeah, well, I'm married to my terrific husband, Mark. I have 3 awesome stepchildren and 3 beautiful granddaughters.
Yeah, and you work in HR.
I work in HR. Very time for that dog. Type.
And we're in Delaware.
Exactly.
I have a new favorite name. And I mean this, I love this name. If I could have had this name, I'd be a big movie star. Flaviano. Flaviano. Good to have you here, sir. How are you doing? From San Diego. What's your life down there?
I'm married. My husband Brian, 7 years, and we've been together 33 years.
Wow. 7 nieces and nephews.
Yes, I have 7 nieces and nephews and 2 grandnieces, Melody and Cassie.
And looking at Melania, what would you guess he collects? Bow ties, right?
Yes.
You have a big collection?
Yes, I have about 25 bow ties, and I'm able to increase that by buying double-sided bow ties.
Oh, just good for variety. You got to spend some time with our announcer, Jim Thornton, who collects string ties. So. And string cheese, another habit of his. It's very odd. Nice to have you here, Melania. Oh, Steve. I like the name Steve Costello, too, don't get me wrong. From Oceanside, California. Yes. Delivery driver?
I am.
Busy man, I'm guessing.
Absolutely.
Talk about your family.
I've been married to my beautiful wife, Carrie, for about 2.5 years now. I have 2 beautiful stepdaughters, Caitlin and Haley. She made me tell their names on air. So they're both in their 20s, very proud of them.
And you're from LA originally.
Originally from
San Diego.
Yep, been down in San Diego for 20 years now.
That's a long time. It is. Good to have you all here. Get ready. We'll do another toss-up. This one is worth $2,000, and the category is occupation. Here we go. And it's Melania.
Building inspector.
Yeah, that's it. Very nice. So you get the $2,000. You'll be spinning in just a moment. We'll check the puzzle quickly first. The category is place. There it is. And now we'll check your spinning prowess. Go ahead. $700.
T.
Yeah, 2 of them.
I'd like to buy a vowel.
Okay.
E.
There's one. There it is. $650. And there's one N. Yes, you have $650. Buy anything, you're going to spin.
Yeah, I'll put my DI, please.
All right, 3 eyes. One more, please. Man, Ruth. H, please. There you go, 1H. $900. R. Two R's.
Can I buy a vowel, please?
Yeah.
Oh.
2 O's. No.
I like soft.
Go ahead.
A thriving chocolate.
Yeah, there you go. So, $22.50 that round, you have $3,250. It takes a while to become the other years. It's taken me almost 40 years. We'll be right back. Hey, say Jack here, you know, I never have to remember anything because all my favorite show memories are on our website. Whenever I want to rewatch Professor Solve or see a classic flashback, I can find it at wheeloffortune.com. Take the site for a spin.
The temperature is dropping. Now is the best time to call Academy Air for your furnace tune-up. Save big with our special fall pricing for only $7.5 with a money-back guarantee if it breaks down. Academy Air. Fixed right now. Schedule your appointment today.
The $2.7 Classic Mother Cruncher or Big for 10 for Rallies isn't just a deal. It's a big deal. Get 2 Classic Mother Crunchers, 2 Big Bufords, each for just $7. You've earned it. Delivered through our new awards app.
I switched over to AAA Insurance to save $150.
Switch to AAA Insurance today. That's an average of $537 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, Geico, even Allstate. Call now for your free auto insurance quote to find out how much you can save.
So with their savings, keep on more equipment.
More money means more money.
Is thrilled.
Call 877-891-0329 for your free auto insurance quote today. AAA Insurance, helping you save more.
With cold nights ahead, now is the best time to tune up your furnace. We'll check everything from cleaning the blower to calibrating the electronics. All for $79. Academy Air. Fixed right now. Schedule your appointment today.
Play with your son. Arnold Guinness. Reporting the stories that matter to you coverage that impacts you. Because those stories are more important than the one that affects you. Love on your son. Focus on you.
Tonight's Great American City Show is brought to you by the following.
Dude, this is psychologist. For good.
I've been on Zoom for 4 months and I've lost 19 pounds.
It made me realize that I never really learned how to eat right. And stuff that feel restrictive and feel like a true lifestyle change.
Visit noom.com and lose the weight for good.
Tonight's Mystery Round is brought to you by Eggland's Best Eggs. Why give your family this ordinary egg when they can enjoy the best? Eggland's Best, the only egg with fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition, which is now more important than ever. Eggland's Best.
The Wheel of Fortune crossword. And the clue is fun and same way. All right. The experts here. Let's go, Steve. $6.50. Ben, please. Now one hand trade the root. This could be interesting. Let's have a letter first. R. Well, there are 3 R's, which might complicate your decision. I don't know. That'd be $3,000 you're risking, but you could turn that 3 into 10. It's early. I'm with you. Come on, I really hope it works out for you. And it does. There you go. Right down there, if you would, please. That is not spendable money, so you can use the wheel. Right.
Yes.
1S. Pick up that wild card, sir. You've got that, and you have $500 cash if you want to do any buying, either that or spin the wheel.
Would like to buy balls, Pat? 8?
Yeah, 3 A's. C. Oh, C.
You want to
Roof.
Hey,
800.
oh my gosh, we granted $5 away. This is a lot of money. Wow, look now. Don't say, hey, all over here, look at the spec buttons. All over here, the right of the spec buttons is the regular freedom machine. Regular freedom origin.
I'll buy an I. That's a good buy. 2 of those. And yeah, that's a terrible bankrupt right there. I'm giving that 10,000. And now Melania will spin the wheel.
Yeah. Why am I getting that?
Q. 1 Q.
I'd like to buy Powell.
U. Well, there are 2 of them, so probably not all that helpful, but we got it anyway. That's 500. Yeah, so no miles left. You have $1,250. You can spend it or solve it.
I'll solve it, Pat.
Say everything. Don't add anything. Go ahead.
Fair, Padres, Aquarium, Pier.
Yeah, that's it. San Diego. So, what do we got here? $3,250 for you, $3,250 for Ruth, and Steve will be on board soon. I'll see you, and we'll be back and see how it all plays out right after these words.
Stay tuned for more spinning, winning,
and Great American Cities.
The fall savings event at Metro Lighting. Save 20% on any light fixture or ceiling fan, including all bikes, with a bonus coupon at MetroLightingCenters.com. Plus 50% off all clearance lighting and fans. Now at Metro Lighting.
That's not thinking. It's sausage. Whoa. Behold, jump through the sausage strips. Sausage that looks and cooks like bacon. It's a medium. Find them bacon action, even though it's sausage.
Seeing the joy that people feel when they share a meal with family and friends, that's why we do this. The laughter of kids around the table, the thrill of families driving through for a treat, the delight of not having to cook, and instead letting us safely serve you. It all comes back to taking care of each other. And for that, we'll be here with your favorites and always now.
Is your internet bill giving you trust issues?
$5. Really? Any extra fees? Am I getting charged for the box you're making me buy them in?
Just remember, you're not a bad person. You just need a straightforward price.
Someone needs a cookie.
Get AT&T Fiber, unlimited internet, straightforward price, no surprises for $50 a month. Limited availability in select areas. Call 1-877-OWN-ATT. Home selling with OfferPad is as easy as
Welcome to OfferPad. How can we help? Ooh, let's go with Express Sell.
with a cash offer in 24 hours.
And that comes with no showing.
Request your free offer today at OfferPad.com.
It's the fall savings event at Metro Lighting. Save 20% on any light fixture or ceiling fan, including all kitchen with a bonus coupon at MetroLightingCenters.com. Plus 50% off all clearance lighting and fans. Now at Metro Lighting.
Welcome back to Themes, the category for our next round. That is our prize puzzle round. Always good news for our players. Maybe we're going to start this one. 600. N. Yeah, 3 N's. D. Yeah, 1 D.
I'd like to buy an A.
All right, we can arrange that. 4 A's. $1.50. T. 2 T's.
Like to buy an O?
2 O's.
Can I buy an E, please?
You got it. 3 E's. 55. Wait if I do that. 4,459.
I'd like to try to solve a puzzle.
All right.
Recreation and relaxation.
You got a vote. And what a better place to do that than the Island of St. Lucia.
Gets it for warm breezes in the Windward Islands and experience the crystal clear water of the Caribbean Sea at the Landing Villa Beach Resort in St. Lucia. Escape to white sand beaches, secluded villas, and gourmet restaurants. Air travel courtesy of FlightGuru.com. The online answer for discount prices and superior service. Shop, click, and book your next trip with FlightGuru.com. $9,588.
No, over 14,000 at round. She has over 17,000 being at this point. But big leads are needed to overcome them. You never know. A lot of money's moving away. We'll get back to it after these messages.
Snap Today is brought to you by the following.
A sponge that's more sanitary and rinses 99.9% clean? High five. Brilla, they got loud.
Oh, that's a whole lot of drink.
Please, my shoes look good.
Look who gets starts with Bounce Window Guard. The mega designed to help vehicles in the drive.
I'm still loud about what's next, even with higher show force, not caused by a heart valve. So if there's a better treatment to warfarin, I want that. Eloquence. Eloquence reduces stroke risk better than warfarin and has less pain than warfarin. Eloquence has both. Don't stop taking Eloquence without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eloquence can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eloquence if you have an artificial heart valve or abnormal bleeding. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. Get help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take certain medicines. About all planned medical or dental procedures. The #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner. Ask your doctor about Eloquence.
Hold on your side. Focus on you. So we'll do our triple toss up here. Food and drink is the category for all three of these puzzles. Each one worth $2,000. And here is the first. Yeah, really.
Coffee beans.
There you go. So, after you get all three, you get $10,000. Here's number 2. Steve, refried beans. Put some money under his name. That's what I like to see. Let's see who gets the third one. Steve, jelly beans. Man knows his name. Yeah. Good job. You're a lady that and around the house is the category for this next round. And Steve, you want the right to spin it first. And it's 700. S, please. Yes, one S right there. Two T's. $1,700. Can I buy the E, please? Yeah, sure. I like a good dramatic pause as well as the next round. All right, Steve, what do you want to do? And let's buy the A.
additional dollars.
Continue. Business government.
By the eyes. Yeah. Straight to eyes. 600.
Deep hands.
Yeah, 1 deep.
Social order.
Can I buy the O?
Use
3 O's. No more rounds. We have 2,700, but not much time. You have a try to give it a spin. This will be our final spin. We'll determine how much whatever it lands on, and that will bring the amount to $1,700. Again, it's around the house. Steve, it's still your turn. Letter, please. H. Yeah, 1 H. L. 2 L's. Decorative throw pillows? Yeah, that's it. You got it. Is that all? $3,400 that round, and your total is 22,000 tickets. We take all the bonus round. Congratulations. Nice to meet you. Guys, I'm glad you all want some money. It was a pleasure to have you here. $3,250. Thank you very much. Steve, got a couple of toss-ups. I'm glad to say the wheel was kind of rough, and you had a little bumpy traction, but once you did, you won $4,000. All right. This is a bigger category. Event, thing, and phrase. What do you like for the bonus round? Let's go with event. All right, let's go with event, Jimmy. Go to commercial and we'll come back.
Why hide your skin? Dupixent has your moderate to severe eczema or atopic dermatitis under control.
Hide my skin? Now see?
By hitting eczema where it counts, Dupixent helps heal your skin from within, keeping you one step ahead of eczema. And that means long-lasting, clearer skin and fast itch relief for adults. Hide my skin, not it. By helping to control eczema with Dupixent, you can show more with less eczema. Don't use if you're allergic to Dupixent. Serious allergic reactions can occur, including anaphylaxis, which is severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes or a parasitic infection. If you take asthma medicines, don't change or stop them without talking to your doctor. When you help heal your skin from within, you can change how your skin looks and feels. And that's the kind of change you notice. Talk to your eczema specialist about Dupixent, a breakthrough eczema treatment.
The temperature is dropping. Now is the best time to call Academy Air for your furnace tune-up. Save big with our special fall pricing from only $79 with a money-back guarantee if it breaks down. Academy Air, fixed right now. Schedule your appointment today.
Ice Peak. Zebulon Pike. To the top. Of course, you can notice Dan from our support GT lineup. Well, Zebulon, this one's for you. Get 0.9% APR for up to 60 minutes or 750 customer cash on the purchase of a new 2021 Ford today.
No. Put yourself out there.
It's okay to be lost.
With cold nights ahead, now is the best time to tune up your furnace. We'll check everything, from cleaning the blower to calibrating the electronics. All for $79. Academy Air, fix right now. Schedule your appointment today.
I assume you're having a good time so far. Yeah, 22,000 plus you have. We'd like you to get more, so spin that wheel. Go for it. We got cars, we got cash. We got $1,000 prize. I'm going to ask you to head over to this spot, and I will come over here. We got the app again. In terms of that, we got to go over T-O-N-E. Starts with those letters. And in the puzzle manner,
They say, hey, we're going to price 30 years from now. This shit don't pay.
Well, you're going to have to go to 3 more consonants and 1 more
Well,
vowel.
30 years.
C.
You're used to sitting on your job, so you're going to
O.
Okay, that'll be your vowel. And we need 2 more
shit
consonants.
okay.
M.
And 1 more consonant.
See,
D.
I've been for 30 fucking years. When I was 30 years, you can say I'm on price.
Well, just 2 more days. Well, this looks tough to me. Really better be playing. Talk about that. The 10 seconds.
Making a breakthrough?
Or on the other hand, you can just go solid. Make me look like a liar.
What a breakthrough. Your name $1,000.
Like I said, it's an easy one, so get it with no problem. 61,600. Maybe from San Diego.
Keep them on.
Pat, where are we?
We're inside the Wheel of Fortune Instagram page. It's got behind-the-scenes program, real-time stories, and more.
Ooh, I love it. Follow us on Instagram today. We're in San Diego in front of the USS Midway.
This Midway had a long and distinguished life, commissioned a week after the end of World War II, served from 1945 till 1992. Now it's one of the most visited ship museums in the world. She comes to San Diego and receives more wheel.
Bye.
It's never been easier to try out to be a contestant on Wheel. Solve fun puzzles from the comfort of your own home with our brand new virtual missions. Apply today.
U.S. companies saw out and the customer and the customer, the U.S. says, hey, boss, you know, do what?
Just again tomorrow night.
For spinning, winning, and fabulous Chicago.
Vango. The immersive experience. Now open for limited engagement. Saturday Pavilion in St. Louis, California. Tickets available at VangoSt.Louis.com. Beyond Vango.
Why search all over St. Louis for an all-wheel drive when your Gateway Honda dealer has the SUVs you've got to see? New Hondas are coming in every day, and that means big deals on America's best value brand, most American-made brand, and the most fuel-efficient brand on the road, including HRV, CRV, and Pilot. And right now, well-qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing on the Honda Pilot. For details, visit GatewayHondaDealers.com today.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who traded their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in any further. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Can the top of basic? Isn't that a surprise to hear these type of noises? But with the advanced reader automatic braking of the Nissan Road, the unexpected can be music to your ears. And again with basic, the 2021 Road. Get 0% financing for up to 72 months on 13 model, or get a low $219 per month lease on road.
It's looking
Pick up any two of your cigarette breakfast fakes for just $4.
I don't necessarily have a strategy. I just emotionally very distraught because I love my kids so much.
Follow your gut, follow your heart.
Or just, run home.
No, you can't do that.
Skills from them too.
Blake, no, you cannot. Your best strategy is to not listen to Blake. Blake, are you threatened by any one of them in particular?
No.
Thank you, Blake. Kelly, we know your least favorite part of the battles is saying goodbye to half your team.
It's my best team overall for the season, so it doesn't really get easier. That's what happens when people like you. I know you're not going to do that.
Well, that's good. Thank you, coaches.
This is great. We're so happy to have you here for me now.
Thank you for having me.
Sounds like a good amount of voice.
I can tell you this.
I know.
Is it okay if I always say that's legendary behavior?
I think the use of this word
It's great.
has been approved.
Like, I feel like if they all get t-shirts, legendary behavior.
Oh, I love it. I'm going to hire you for marketing too.
Hey.
Let's go.
I didn't think I was going to be nervous, but now that it's here, I am a little bit nervous.
You look very real.
All right. So now we've got Kayla and Joshua. These are both singers with big voices. Joshua sang Into the Unknown. She would like it.
Very complicated
It's complicated.
She's mad at you.
Perhaps mad at me.
Dang.
I'm sorry. And then Kayla with a 3-chair turn.
Hey, Kayla.
Fantastic voice. So much charisma and energy. I think she's 15 years old.
Oh my god, that's the same age I was.
Oh my god. So you relate to her. I'm excited to introduce them to you. I think they're going to click when you see them. Hello. Who's here?
I was shocked. Powerhouses came in my street. It's amazing. And having a mentor that is in that pop world, but also is able to be super knowledgeable. It's really cool because that's what I'm.
She's experienced so much in our business, being on a competition show, being in a group where harmony is important, and then being a really successful solo artist as well.
It's really inspiring that she started when she was my age on a teen show. Now she's this name and she's on the charts all the time. It's like going on Big Street. I've been singing basically all of my life. My whole family sings. We're kind of like a modern-day Partridge Family. When I was 12, I started gigging a lot in New York City, and I got to sing my songs somehow at iHeartRadio. The tagline is "You'll get there somehow," like chasing your dream and not letting go, and I feel like this is a really good testament to that song. It's crazy. I feel really blessed to be here.
We've got a really fun, big hit song right now called Good For You.
I love this song. I love this song. It's on my playlist.
Good, so we picked the right one.
I think you don't know this song unless you live under a rock.
I know, it's quite popular.
I am super excited about singing this song. I get to highlight the rock part of my voice. But when you said you wanted to give me the world.
Kayla and Joshua, both have piercing voices, and I have them singing this powerful, energetic Olivia Rodrigo song. It has like a drama and a theatrical vibe that I felt like both Joshua and Kayla could do.
Kayla, when she's singing, first she has this really nice pop tone, but then she can also really sing. It's kind of like the same thing Ariana can. Joshua, he can really belt and have this really dramatic, almost theatrical vibrato. Oh!
I can only dream of it. I love the personality, especially in the verses. Yes, that.
Like that almost like Broadway vibrato on a pop song, maybe like Queen Freddie Mercury vibes. The drama of it, I loved it. Kayla, it's so cool when you do that. Like, you keep digging into that.
It's going to be great. It's a lot of words to mouth, I know. Obviously, we want you to be like emotional and in it and dynamic and all those things. But the technique of it all needs to come through as well. So get these lyrics in your heart so it's like breathing to you. When I played Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstar, literally I was dreaming these lyrics. So they're so a part of me that you can free yourself to be fully in the moment.
This song has so much rage. It would almost be interesting if like on stage and stuff you guys were like singing it to each other.
Yeah.
Very kind of cool.
We mad at each other. You just go through a tough breakup.
I definitely feel like I'm being pushed. It's a super high energy song, and don't connect to the lyrics because I am thankfully in a very happy relationship. In high school, I actually met my wife, and then we gig out with a duo, but then we're also in a worship band called Direct Worship with my band. I am very shy in my personal life, so music always been a really big outlet and something that brings me so much joy. And they are cool. I go on stage and I can see that superstar I was in my country. I want to win this battle for my life. And I also want to win it for you because I can do it and have doubted me and said I'm not being extreme enough. I'm ready to just be free and just live out the rock star dream.
Be probably one of my favorites of the night if they fully commit. I think the more they can thrash around and jump around, they should be exhausted by the end of it. Damn! Energy! Woo! I do not need a coffee today.
Oh my god, it was like a workout. Yeah. Workout watching. It's like, oh my god. I don't think I've ever near this level of energy in it. And I think the audience is like, you know, jolted by it.
Because it's such a high energy song. Make crazy stuff before you're on stage, like, so that energy, it's not like here, and it's more here, at least. And also another thing, going on treadmill and singing for like 15 minutes without standing up right.
This is like it's coming together.
Well, this is all the legendary behavior.
Oh my God. Let's do it. Come on. This song is so challenging. It's high, it's fast-paced. So I'm really watching to see who rises to this moment. I can't wait to see Blake's face. This is like, what's happening?
There's definitely a lot of work left, but I'm going to keep working. I've been doing the song while doing different exercises, like Amelia said today. I want to show John, even though I'm 15, I can still perform like a rock star. Yeah.
I'm so ready for this. Kayla and Joshua, we talked about being theatrical, getting into character, and they're just racing.
Thousand people going on stacks. Thousand women going on stacks.
It's going to be tough to see. I love you all to do it physically with each other. It's just going to be a matter of execution and the vocal. I'm so excited for this performance. It's going to knock the coach's socks off.
I'm so excited about that. I think Paul's like, you guys, maybe you don't work free for food or having that sticks. Maybe when I work for free for sex. I'm like, well, you don't work for your sex either. So I really don't want to work for free for food or sex. We just why not do that? Make sure that's not that.
notes you're hitting? Like, I mean, you're just in the rafters, and how you were holding down the hierarchy. Woo, that was really impressive. And I mean, Joshua, your range, it's incredible. It was actually a really fun pairing. I did not expect that to happen. I had no idea what was going to happen. I think both of you did a great job. I think Joshua, you surprised me. And honestly, it was when you said emotional, I don't know what the hell you did, but I was like, okay, Joshua.
Don't you are Josh
on stage. So quickly, I'm gonna have to watch this on TV and I put it in slow motion to try to take it all in.
I told you guys you were gonna blow Blake's mind. I know what you're doing.
I gotta say, Joshua, what
They're supposed to trust
I mean, that is just crazy. You both sounded great, but from a performance standpoint, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that. I would have to pick Joshua.
That was so exciting and entertaining and infectious. Something simpatico is happening here. But Joshua, you know I love you. I'm obsessed with you. I have been from the beginning. I loved what you brought to this song. But Kayla, between your range and your control for your age and your energy, I couldn't stop watching you. And I know I'm like the odd man out, but I would lean towards you in this case. I loved that performance though, and you're both, I'm obsessed. It was wonderful.
You want really important.
Sean, you got the final decision.
You want the same
You knocked it out of the park. It was so energetic, so fun, and as I predicted, blew Blake's mind. Joshua, what I loved about your performance was the additional little sauce that you put on some of those notes. The world, when you sing that in that first verse, and the emotional. People are like, what's he going to do next? This is exciting, this is fun, and it's really cool. Kayla, you did exactly what you were supposed to do in this moment. And for you to be 15 and you're tackling something as emotionally and angsty as this song and do it so well, so impressive. I love it. You're so good.
Thank you so much.
John, the time has come.
You're about yourself.
Both of you will be proud. Your education is so fortunate to be your coach. The winner is Joshua.
They want this missionary
I have a full process there. I'm just so glad that I made John proud. Thank you so much.
Hey, we should have went to just.
I can't even like it.
Coach Lincoln, Kayla's available to steal. Kayla, anything you'd like to say to your coach?
I just want to say thank you so much for giving me a chance on this show. I feel like I've already grown like 100 times just being in your presence.
You're so great in the team. Just knowing where you are now and what your potential is. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so much.
Really good singer. I just think right now, Joshua has more individuality, more ability to kind of break through all the noise and all the clutter and all the other artists here that are also good.
Kayla is such a star. I'm so mad at myself for not stealing her. The talent is out of this world. I only have one to steal, so I have to use it really wisely, and I'm waiting for the right moment.
Hear that, John?
Performances ever. 30 years, she's 55. The voice gods were shining down on
me. In difficult decisions, hard to big surprises.
The Voice will be back in exactly 1 minute. The Outsiders' goal date for people is all I've known.
It's just inside. I'm having dreams. That'll go. Dreams make good stories. Everything important happens when we're awake.
The future of House of Trades.
If I'm not, it'll still be the only thing I ever needed you to be. My son. I know you. Kill them all. Extermination. Only together can we stand a chance. Let's fight like demons. The next stroke. Fear is the mind killer. When fear is gone, only I will remain. 13.
Welcome back to the battle rounds. Who's got a stainless steel?
I have a stainless steel.
I'm thinking, you know what? Everyone's been good at convincing people to come back home. The teams are really strong throughout. I think it's one of our better seasons of talent since I've been on the show. All of you boys.
I'm gonna go steal one of your people, and then I'm gonna win a show with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Remember when you first came out of country music and you were having hits?
Yeah.
And you broke your stupid leg? And you had to win awards like laying under the stage. That was part of what I think made you a star, as people felt sorry for you. You realize that?
Is this good?
Marcus. Carson England. I feel like Carson is like right down your alley. Comes from the bluegrass world. It's great for the voice, man. Yeah. I hear he's a great fiddle player too. And Clint, you can tell he's a guy that's been in front of the crowd because he knows how to. Oh man. Oh man. It's nice to see you. I don't think so. I think they're over me. Hey man, you got me George. Real pleasure to meet you. I'm a big fan.
There's no way that there's been Liam Blake show. Just sitting there waiting for me to see one. It's two of the guys that I look up to the most in the country genre for sure.
Congratulations. Thank you. You got married.
Yes, sir. Believe that? I do that all the time.
I think I missed the invite.
Send my way of tickets. You can still get it again.
Oh, it was just beautiful company. Yeah, this is a nice paperweight. It's a hot You guys play. It's two guys up there with guitars. I love your dry drums.
Congratulations, man. He's been in the country game for a long time. It'll be a huge help for me because I want to outdo myself every time I get on the stage. Carson, their voice being just reminds me so much of a lot of people who I love country and bluegrass music. And thank you. It's there's a son non-sass. Awesome. Strong flow. It's good.
I thought, if I nailed it, I could turn it 4 chairs. It ended up being a harder decision than I thought it was going to be.
Let's not mess around with what this opportunity is for you. Let's do this right, Carson. Come on.
Just based on the knowledge of the music. We gotta go play. I'm really happy to be where I am, and I'm really glad to be on Team Blake. Looking forward to it.
It's so cool you don't do this song too, man. Yeah, I love this song. It lands in the middle of you guys. Yeah. This was actually early, but I had a big break, and for me it really was. Vince, I kind of went. I was playing a bar down Lower Broadway, Nashville, Tennessee. One night, Vince walked in with Amy Grant. Stayed on stage for an hour and 22 minutes. I timed it. But gave me the confidence to keep on, and still singing. I gave these guys Don't Let Our Love Start Slipping Away, got Vince Gill. This voice really cuts through. It's the kind of voice that you walk into a bar and he's playing, you're instantly going to be taken by what he's doing on stage. There's something really special about that. Don't let our love start slipping away. Carson could be a big superstar. This voice, it's got the bluegrass stuff, the country stuff, it has almost like harder edge tone happening. Don't let our love That's cool. Thank you. I'm gonna call Vince right now and ask him if that's just the one that lets you do that sound. Just don't blast the whole top of it. You're gonna have to do that. Okay. Yeah, your voice. Disconnection. Yeah. That's what I'm screwing off. Yeah. We see something else come through. That's like trust what you gotta do at your age. Crush your kid at me. Yeah.
I'm a senior in high school at Elizabeth High School in Elizabeth, Tennessee. It's not a huge high school. It's just a real small town environment. Everybody knows everybody. It kind of keeps me out of trouble though, because if I do one thing wrong, the whole town's gonna know about it. Back home, we have a bluegrass band named Carson Peters and Iron Mountain. We're a sworn bluegrass band, and I sing lead and harmony vocals. We've been touring throughout the country really for the last 3 or 4 years. Kind of gotten bigger each year as we've gone. So it's just a really fun experience. Anything else other than that? I want to know this.
All you can do is everything you can do.
Yeah, it's got to be on a t-shirt. Somewhere.
Clint, I feel like there's two different singers coming out of you. Part of it is the soft Vince Gill thing. Then there's a singer that you turn into that's kind of like a really pointed tone that cuts through. When you sing from here, there's a bigger tone there. I try to figure out a way to live in that lane just for this song as much as we can. I love that part of your voice. It cuts through. It really cuts through. It's your favorite type of music. What I really love is just good storytelling. I relate to this song because I'm in a relationship. And the lyrics of the chorus are just like a reminder to be faithful to one another. Jenny and I have been together for a little over 2.5 years. I proposed in downtown Fort Worth. Jenny thought she was going to brunch with some of her friends. They brought her down to the square, and it was like a big surprise. It did work. She said yes. Would be a world of opportunity for Jenny. Yes! That's all that's right there, right? I did. That's all the coaching. That's not literally. That was like. Yeah. I think this battle's going to come down to whoever can put their stamp on the song. I'm looking for a skill impersonation. Whichever one I believe the most is being authentic to themselves. That's who's going to win. Who would you pick as the winner of this battle? Take the Voice official app now and play along.
Yeah, something like writing the same response.
When you watch a chef they don't rush through this stage.
Few of us will ever dive so deep into our cars.
That's why
But those who do venture down into the nights of moments.
When you wake up and face a challenge, you have to give all of yourself and do something. That's when you do your best.
When was the last time you took a second to look up at the blue sky and the trees?
For
the best audio entertainment and storytelling, Audible.
Coming to you fresh-faced from home, Exact Black Clean Mascara. 10 times the volume, clean formula that's cruelty-free and vegan. Works for me, works for us, works for the planet. Last, the clean mascara that works.
Big deal up at Square Makeup Bill at Marshall.
It's so fancy.
Nigger and quitting smoking is freaking hard. You get advice like try hypnosis or quit cold turkey. Instead, start small with Nicorette, which can lead to something big. Start solving with Nicorette.
Wrinkles send the wrong message. Help prevent them with Downy Wrinkle Gun. Feel the difference with Downy.
They're helpful by annoying. They always leave a story. Accidents over the Progressive family.
So, when do you all come home? Never. We're here 24/7.
You come. And Terry on. Attention. Grab the bunch. All new Wednesday Series, only on E!
The gas house key, backflips, Uncle Tom, flag stands, scorecards, hidden cutoff, 2 birds on one bed, hidden banners, and that next year is the Cardinals history.
Central Bank believes in being the hometown bank of the Cardinals. Welcome to Cardinals Checking, where those are legit. Sign up for Cardinal Checking with Central Bank and get a Bob Gibson 1967 custom stitch jersey and 2 game tickets.
Morning. Start your morning with a sizzle. Pick up any two of your select breakfast faves for just $4. Horses, bourbon, and the great outdoors. That's Kentucky. Original, majestic, and wide open. In one day, visit legendary distilleries, explore horse country, or put on your shoes and get out there. This is Kentucky. Come see for yourself. Plan your road trip at KentuckyTourism.com.
I need a quick rest before my furniture market buying trip.
No, get going. Get extra savings on everything in our 3.5-acre stores. Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Injured, our America's largest injured firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Examining real issues, fun with yourself, focus on
You live 0 away from life. Brace yourself for Egypt.
It isn't something we do. This is obviously the way we live. Does it also make it better?
I don't know. Are we judging?
Welcome back.
This battle begins right now.
I'm telling you guys, what almost been done now. We really wants a lot of gas, large amounts to be done.
I would not say a word. Let's switch into it.
Sure. So, it looks like the date spots you $100. Wow.
Supply-constrained markets away from urban crowding. The Federal Reserve is boosting realty values with low interest rates. Where we build, it's booming. Our fund is strategically positioned for growth with over $1 billion of new development value in progress. Call and receive our free investors report. Don't fight the Fed, flow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414. Call now while the Fed is boosting realty markets with low rates. And receive our free investors report. Don't fight the Fed, flow with the Fed.
I called my brother. I told him, I said, look, I'm going to tell you how to save some money. You got to switch to Pure Talk. Don't think about it. Just do it.
With unlimited talk, text, and 6 gigs of data for just $30 a month.
Smartest thing I've done in a long time.
Chalk one up for me.
Dial pound 250 and say keyword Pure TV. to save 50% off your first month. Pure Talk. Simply smarter wireless.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell. Cancel culture has not only affected myself and my pillow, but millions of you out there. Before this all started, I had already written in my memoir, I dedicate this book to anyone who's looking for hope. Well, right now, we're all looking for hope. And I believe that my story is going to bring inspiration and hope to everyone. By the time you're done reading my book, you will believe that with God, all things are possible. And to thank all of you for your support, I'm offering some of the best prices ever on My Pillow products, including this exclusive bundle. You get my book and these 3 My Pillows. You get the Statue of Liberty, you get the American flag, and you get with God, all things are possible. Regularly just $134, now it's just $49.98 with your promo code and free shipping. So go to mypillow.com/USA and use the promo code on your screen or call the 1-800 number below to receive this exclusive offer. Thank you and God bless.
I was taking Balance of Nature when I first started running. My first marathon, I was 57 years old. Recovery wasn't ever my purpose in taking Balance of Nature, but the more that I've taken it, the more that I realized that it does help. Since then, I've done it.
Over and over again. Start today by going to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FOXNEWS.
Don't let back pain get in your way. Tommy Copper's lower back support shirt and tank. Fight lower back pain with comfortable built-in back support that won't slow you down. Go to TommyCoppers.com today and save 25%. Take control of your pain with Tommy Copper.
For intelligent identity protection, Smarter is Identity IQ. Smarter is protecting what's yours with real-time monitoring and alerts for all 3 credit bureaus. Call or visit IdentityIQ.com and use the promo code on your screen to save 15% on your first year.
Due to overwhelming demand, we're extending our special Grateful Nation offer.
We're giving all active military and veterans Fox Nation for free for an entire year. If you're active military or a veteran, go to FoxNation.com right now.
At the beginning of the show, we told you about the passing of 84-year-old Colin Powell, the former Secretary of State. Whatever you thought of his role, for example, in the Iraq War or in the Obama campaign, anyone who ever spoke to Colin Powell knew conclusively he was a legitimately impressive, very smart, thoughtful, patriotic person. That's just true. Ask someone who knew him. They'll confirm it. The interesting thing, as we noted, was that Colin Powell always said, it was probably a talking point, that he was the beneficiary of affirmative action. Maybe, we can't prove it, but he certainly deserved to be where he got. That's the view, that's our view, having known him, to be perfectly blunt. Which is not to say affirmative action isn't out there. What else, for example, but affirmative action could explain the ascent of the former mayor of South Bend, Indiana? A certain sort of affirmative action program for dwarfish frauds who once worked for McKinsey & Co. Chelsea Clinton may have benefited from this as well. In any case, however he got there, Mayor Pete is somehow the Secretary of Transportation at this point. And maybe it's not a coincidence that our transportation infrastructure has collapsed. There is a supply chain crisis, and that means that shelves at your local store, things that you actually need to buy, are empty. So Mayor Pete went on television the other day, finally back to work, to explain that actually the shortages, the bare shelves, they're a sign this country's thriving.
Retail sales are through the roof. And if you think about those images of ships, for example, waiting at anchor on the West Coast, every one of those ships is full of record amounts of goods that Americans are buying because demand is up, because income is up, but because the president has successfully guided this economy out of the teeth of a terrifying recession. Now the issue is, even though our ports are handling more than they ever had, record amounts of goods coming through, our supply chains can't keep up.
Oh, so it's not the administration's fault. They're doing such a good job. You have more money than you can spend, and because you're so rich, you want to spend it on so much stuff that we no longer have enough stuff for you to buy. So the shortages are really, in effect, your fault for being the undeserved beneficiary of Joe Biden's economic genius. Got that? But it's definitely not the administration's fault that gas and lumber and automobiles and everything you might actually want to buy has risen, and the things that you need to buy, like washing machines or refrigerators or toilet paper, simply aren't unavailable. And none of that is socialist. No, not at all. It's not the Brezhnev administration. No, it's utopia. Be happy about it. Stop your complaining, says Mayor Pete, the dwarfish frog from McKinsey. Just thought we'd bring you up to date on his explanation for all of that, and that's what it was. Well, days after January 6th, Democrats in Congress began a crackdown, really an unprecedented one, on the civil liberties of Americans. In the Senate, Chuck Schumer called for the, quote, insurrectionists to be placed on no-fly lists.
We are here today because the folks, the people, the insurrectionists who breached the U.S. Capitol fall under the definition of threats to the homeland and should be immediately added to the TSA no-fly list.
So the minute that Schumer said that, we actually tried that day to find out if any Americans had been put on no-fly lists. It seemed inconceivable that people who had not been convicted or even charged with a crime would not be allowed to fly on aircraft in their own country. Well, months later, thankfully, journalist Glenn Greenwald has in fact run down the story. He's confirmed that several January 6th protesters were indeed put on no-fly lists. Again, these are people who have not committed crimes, they were not charged with crimes. Now the January 6th Commission is seeking the phone records of lawmakers and private citizens.
We have quite an exhaustive list of people. I won't tell you who they are, but it's several hundred people.
So you're looking for phones, text messages, any kind of communication?
Electronic communications, and all of that.
We're going to be reading people's text messages and emails. We're not going to tell you who those people are because we don't have to. That's the January 6th committee that Liz Cheney supports. That committee is going on to subpoena political opponents for activities that we thought were protected by the First Amendment, like organizing a political rally. You should know the President of the United States is threatening jail time for anyone who does not comply. What does this look like exactly? Well, we thought we'd ask Glenn Greenwald, who is the journalist who ran down that story on the no-fly list. You can read him on Substack, and hope he really joins us now. But thanks so much for coming on. So, first of all, thank you for confirming what seemed impossible to believe at the time. Just to be clear, these are people who have not been convicted of anything, correct?
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't just Chuck Schumer. It was also Benny Thompson, who's the chairman of the Homeland Security Committee in the House, who also happens now to be the chairman of that select committee investigating January 6th. He was actually the one who, 24 hours after the events on the Capitol on January 6th, demanded that people be put on the no-fly list, and at least 4 or 5 of them are confirmed not to be able to fly, despite not having been convicted of anything.
This is the kind of thing, again, that civil libertarians like you complained about after 9/11 and nobody really cared about because these people had a different religion and they were from a different country. They were foreign nationals. Now it's happening to Americans. And I still don't think anyone seems to care in our media. Have you noticed anyone caring?
It's the whole thing that's so extraordinary is the very existence of this congressional committee. I mean, of course there were crimes committed on January 6th. People have pled guilty. Everyone knows that. The Justice Department is the agency who's supposed to investigate crimes. And they're doing that very aggressively. They said it's the largest law enforcement investigation in the history of the country. Why is Congress also running a parallel investigation into the behavior of private citizens where they're gathering data on people? Congress has no power to investigate crimes. They can investigate in very limited circumstances. And what they're doing, Liz Cheney is the vice chair of that committee, is incredibly invasive, gathering phone records, gathering physical whereabouts, interrogating people, hauling them before the committee to question them on their political activities, their right to protest, and there's no media debate at all about the fact that the committee itself is probably unconstitutional, but certainly the radical investigatory steps they're taking are.
It's beyond belief that this is happening, and that you're more on this than most Republican members of Congress. We appreciate it. Glenn Greenwald, thank you for coming on tonight.
Good to be with you, Doctor. Thanks.
So you hear even now self-described conservatives defend Liz Cheney. Now, she doesn't like Trump, they don't like Trump, fine. But if you are continuing to defend Liz Cheney, knowing that she's supporting stripping the civil liberties from Americans who have not been convicted of crime, you need to rethink a lot about yourself. You're certainly not a recognizable conservative. Well, coming up next, most of our leaders in Washington are still focused on Russia, not China. Why is that? Well, a leading expert on China joins us to explain. By the way, right now on TuckerCarlson.com, you can still get a new book. You can cut out big tech. Amazon gets nothing. Be right back.
Hello, Michael Youssef here. You know, with our troubled economy and the violence in our streets, do you worry about your future and your children's future? I have great news for you. Jesus said, when you come to him and surrender to him, he will replace your worries and anxieties with his peace. Would you come to him?
Visit findingtruepeace.com to find out more.
Hemorrhoids are a real pain in the... That's why Recticare Advanced. Recticare Advanced is seriously effective. With 2 powerful medicines for rapid dual-action relief, it soothes the uncomfortable swelling, itching, and pain of your hemorrhoids. Don't waste your time with other hemorrhoid creams. Make your sane. Get Recticare Advanced today.
Hey, Joe Piscopo here. What if Relief Factor does work for you? 3 weeks from now, you could be pain-free like tens of thousands of others.
As I was aging, the pain in my hips was getting worse and worse.
I first heard about Relief Factor on a television show.
I ordered Relief Factor for the pain I was having in my neck and my knees.
Each of its 4 key ingredients targets a different metabolic pathway to help your body respond to runaway inflammation.
After about 3 weeks, the pain was gone, and I was able to climb the stairs.
I am pain-free. I love it.
I am now pain-free. Thank you, Relief Factor.
I'm really happy. It makes me feel like I'm young again.
Do yourself a favor and try Relief Factor today. The 3-week quick start is now just $19.95. This is a spectacular deal. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 800-4RELIEF and get your 3-week quick start today.
Love the delicious taste of fried foods? Now you don't have to say no. Enjoy all the crunch without the calories when you create healthy, delicious meals with Cuisinart's Air Fryer Toaster Oven. Our innovative technology lets you fry food with ultra-hot air and 98% less oil for healthier results, and no messy cleanup or lingering odors. With 7 functions, this multitasking oven also bakes, broils, convection bakes and broils, warms and toasts, so you'll use it every day. Say yes to healthy and delicious with the Cuisinart Air Fryer Toaster Oven.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening. Calling out the president.
Joe, you ruined it all. We have a leadership problem.
Go inside the administration's failures. Eric Trump and Newt Gingrich react tonight on Hedgie.
And welcome back.
My esteemed Pisces.
Set your intentions. Crystals up.
Cleanse and find your heart.
There you go. There.
By switching over to AAA Insurance, we saved over $450.
Switch to AAA Insurance today. You can save an average of $508 on auto insurance. Compare that to Geico, State Farm, even Allstate. Call now for your free auto insurance quote to find out how much you can save.
So with our savings, he bought more equipment.
More money means more practice equipment.
In his world.
Call 877-207-0957 for your free auto insurance quote today. AAA Insurance, helping you save more.
for your free auto insurance quote today. AAA Insurance, helping you save more. When we switched, we saved over $450 with AAA auto insurance.
Switch to AAA Insurance today, and you can save an average of $537 on auto insurance. Compare that to State Farm, even Allstate.
We're able to put that money back into our food truck and our flavors and put it back into our business.
Switching was easy with AAA Insurance.
There's nothing more American than barbecue at AAA.
Call 866-622-8862 for your free auto insurance quote today. AAA Insurance, helping you save more.
No one has ever reinvented mattress shopping until now. The grand opening of Slumberland Sleep Solutions, where we've simplified, uncomplicated, and laid things out for you. Start with a quick rest match to pick your basic mattress type. You love memory foam.
I really do.
Then shop the information and rating system on each bed. Did you know you can get great back support with a soft feel? It's true, and easy to find. Mattress shopping, reinvented, only at Slumberland Furniture.
Play Super Duper Supermarket Sweep. For more details, visit our Instagram page. Starts Monday at 9 p.m. 6 Pacific only on Buzzer.
So far, the Biden administration has refused even to comment on the reports that China has just tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic missile that can orbit the Earth and hit any place on the Earth. Why is that? Well, because Russia's the real threat. But is it? Elbridge Colby is the former Deputy Assistant Secretary of Defense for Strategy and Force Development. He has a much more precise sense of what the threats this country faces are. We spoke to him on Tucker Carlson today. Here's part of that interview. What was your assessment, having run the assessment, of what our greatest threat is?
Oh, it's clearly China. China, people don't really appreciate this. I think of it as like a Jupiter in a solar system. We are so accustomed to being the only superpower. It was the late 19th century when the United States became the largest economy in the world, and the Chinese are going to surpass us. Partially because they have a lot more people, but partially because a lot of them are becoming really rich and they're very productive. And this is by far the most significant challenge. They are the only power, the only force in the world that can impose its will on us, violently or otherwise, in the face of our determined resistance. I think as you point out, which is the measure? Which is the measure? Because, it's not about intent and all this kind of stuff, because intent is changeable. But this is the force we have to deal with. So, before we had all these things, it's Iran and North Korea, they're just in a completely different league. I'm not saying they're not threatening.
Well, maybe Assad, I think, in Syria.
Right, exactly. To the extent he even controls his own territory.
He doesn't.
So it was a lot of and part of the thing that had been frustrating in the preceding 15 years was this sort of threat inflation, this routine threat inflation you get, where members of Congress and the like would say, we're living in the most dangerous period. And I think the 2000s, and certainly the 1990s, were probably the safest period, certainly in recent memory, and in some ways in history. But now we're actually dealing with a problem, and part of the struggle is that we actually have to, convey the severity and seriousness of this threat to people who've been kind of dulled by this threat inflation, frankly. I think the question of whether we should defend Taiwan is an absolutely critical and valid question. My answer is that I think we should defend it, but a big central part of this book is to make sure that we are able to defend Taiwan in a way that's consistent with what we are prepared to risk and cost for that venture. The reason Taiwan is important is for two points. One is, MacArthur called it the unsinkable aircraft carrier. It's right in the middle of what's called the first island chain, and the core of what I think of as an anti-hegemonic coalition. Basically a balancing group of states to keep China in check, not to dominate China, not to embarrass China, but to keep China in check and make sure they respect our interests, is a bunch of countries that are largely located in the Western Pacific. If China dominates Taiwan, it has uninhibited projection into the Central Pacific. What does that mean? It means we're going to be thinking more along the lines of the Battle of Midway than a defense of Taiwan. The Chinese are going to have 3 aircraft carriers by the middle of the decade and more by the end, let alone the next decade. So we're talking about a military that's going to look more like the Japanese military of World War II than just this defensive thing that people seem to think. The second reason Taiwan is important is what you suggested. It's important for our credibility. And look, neocons and others tend to talk about
credibility in this undifferentiated way, like we have to stand by stupid, foolish commitments until the end of time, otherwise people won't believe us. No, look, people are smart. They know sometimes you have to get out of Afghanistan, for instance, which I think was the right decision if catastrophically badly handled. But if we pull back from Taiwan, where we basically are committed, I mean, we have an ambiguous commitment, but essentially it's regarded by the people who matter, the decision makers in Asia, as the canary in the coal mine. If we pull back from that, an archipelago in the Western Pacific under the darkening shadow of Chinese military power, well, what is the Philippines? Archipelago in the Western Pacific under the darkening shadow of Chinese military thing. Well, or Indonesia, or Japan. And at a certain point, the Chinese don't need to conquer every country in Asia to become dominant. They just need to show that this coalition we need to muster and sustain is hollow. Super interesting conversation. Bridge Colby, Tucker Carlson. Today went on for an hour. Listen to it on FoxNation.com. So instead of acknowledging natural immunity and the fact it could be more effective against COVID than the vaccine, the medical establishment is forcing a shot on the entire public, even people who have immunity. There is one healthcare provider, though, that is acknowledging science. We'll speak to someone from that company next.
My name is Kevin Trimble, retired Army specialist. September 18, 2011, we were clearing a village of IEDs, and we found one that was buried in a wall. And before we got it out, before we really, found all the parts, it was command detonated from a little ways away, and it killed a friend of mine and took away both my legs and my left arm.
There are over 1,000 families that need our help. Talented Towers is honoring those heroes that risk their lives by providing them with mortgage-free homes.
So my previous home was a fairly small apartment, about 780 square feet, so smaller than this room. And it was functional, but far from optimal. And the stove is going to be useful because when you're dealing with, hot pots and pans and cooking, which I really enjoy, I've been doing it for a little while, getting it at a height where you can actually manage everything, not like reaching over a counter, is just safer, is the biggest part. We're seeing this house on Veterans Day. It's impactful because it's a day to honor veterans, and it's not just about me. It also is sort of an homage to the people that I lost or also got injured with me in Afghanistan.
I'm Frank Silla, chairman of the Stephen Silla Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Our foundation is committed to delivering mortgage-free homes, and we're building smart homes for our country's most catastrophically aged service members. But we need your help. We're asking all Americans to donate $11 a month so we can keep our promise to these great heroes and their families left behind.
I'd like to ask you to contribute $11 a month to support their efforts. Please visit Talented.org.
Investors, the best hedge is hard assets with lower risk and higher returns, including steady cash flow. The NRIA Prime Real Estate Fund pays a 10% monthly distribution plus targeted returns to 21%. Our fund diversifies against stock market risk with over $1 billion of new development value in progress. The Fed has plummeted interest rates, so hedge against inflation and stocks dropping. Call for our free investors report, Flow with the Fed. Call 800-800-1414. That's 800-800-1414.
When you're active, don't let a leg cramp stop your day. With Highlands leg cramps, that's pain you can crush right away. America's #1 leg cramp relief solution for over 10 years. Fast, effective relief, so you don't have to miss a beat. Highlands leg cramps. Stop your cramp, not your day. Available at Walmart, Walgreens, and CVS.
Meet Martha. Martha is 75 years old and has been on traditional Medicare for 10 years now. But she's a bit cranky because she heard the 2022 Medicare Advantage plans are now available during the Medicare annual enrollment period, and she wants details.
I'm already on Medicare.
Where's my additional benefits?
Hi, Martha. Millions of Americans like you may not be getting all the Medicare benefits that are available to them. Now is the time for everyone on Medicare to call during the Medicare annual enrollment period for your free 2022 no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
I already have my Medicare card. I am not calling.
Martha, right now is the Medicare annual enrollment period. 2022 Medicare Advantage plans are now available, so everyone on Medicare can call to see if they can save money or get additional benefits.
They probably won't answer the phone.
Well, Martha, if you call 800-454-1178, a licensed insurance agent will speak with you and look up your plan and see if you qualify for a plan with additional Medicare benefits.
Why don't I get these automatically?
Martha, right now is the Medicare annual enrollment period. 2022 plans are now available, so now's the time to call.
I think I called last year, so I'm not calling.
Martha, 2022 plans are now available, but you won't get additional benefits automatically, so everyone on Medicare should call now during the Medicare annual enrollment period and get your Medicare benefits reviewed today. Just call the toll-free number on your screen. It's free.
Free?
Yes, Martha. The call and no-obligation Medicare benefits review are free. They can look up your plan and let you know if you're eligible for additional benefits and see if you can save money.
Why didn't you say that sooner? It's time for me to call and get my free, no-obligation Medicare benefits review.
That's right, Martha. I should have just given you the toll-free number. It's on everyone's TV screen now. Call 800-454-1178. 800-454-1178.
Several studies suggest that natural immunity, the antibodies your body produces when you recover from COVID, offer stronger protection than any of the corona vaccines. So why force vaccines on people who recovered from COVID and have those antibodies? Jeffrey Jerry is the Senior Vice President of Medical and Academic Affairs at St. Louis University Hospital, which is allowing employees with natural immunity to defer taking a COVID shot for a year. He joins us to explain. Mr. Jerry, thanks. I appreciate it coming on, Doctor. This seems like a sensible, science-based solution. But why isn't everyone doing it? But tell us, why are you doing this?
We're doing it because we're following the science. It's important for us to state that we're absolutely committed to vaccination, and we're also absolutely committed to actually mandating it in healthcare. It's very different in healthcare than other businesses. But with that in mind, those of us who make this decision not only took into account what was going on nationally and internationally, like the Israeli study, but more to the point, those of us who make that decision, we're not doing this behind the desk or behind a computer. We're actually seeing patients. And we knew that even once the Delta variant had hit, that it was very apparent to us that those individuals who had a verified natural infection were at least as protected, if not better protected, than those who had gotten 2 shots of an mRNA vaccine or a single shot of the J&J vaccine. So we offered this deferment. And it is a deferment. We don't know how long it's going to last, but as the data actually accumulates, we'll change our policy in accordance with the science.
So you're using number science that's available to the CDC as well. So why aren't they recommending the same?
Well, I can't speak for the CDC. In fact, we do support giving a single dose of an mRNA vaccine after getting natural immunity because we know that it increases your protection by 10-fold. The CDC, unfortunately, is still insisting on 2 doses of an mRNA vaccine, and we don't think that that actually is supported by the science that we look at. And again, we're practicing doctors, and we're able to interpret it that way.
Do you think that they are they looking at different, just for the non-scientists watching, including me, do you think they have different data sets they're looking at, or are you looking at the same numbers?
I think that we're all looking at different data sets. We do not adhere to a bureaucracy. We've always been very adherent to collaboration and communication and making decisions very quickly based on what is proper for our patient population and for our staff and their families, and that's what we've done so. I think when you have government agencies, it tends to work in a slower fashion.
Dr. Jerry, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate it. St. Luke's Hospital.
My pleasure.
Appreciate it. So at the beginning of the show, we told you about Colin Powell. We left out that Colin Powell was suffering from a number of different health problems. But of course, that's the point. The point that vaccinated and vulnerable is so people with other underlying health problems won't die of COVID. But unfortunately, that didn't work in the case of General Powell, and it didn't work for many thousands of other Americans. And of course, that's the point we're making in the first place. What's told you the latest episode of Chuck Across the News? Rich Colby is available right now on FoxNation.com. We'll be back tomorrow night. The show is the sworn enemy of lying, pomposity, smugness, and groupthink. Have the best night. And here's the great Sean Houston.
All right. And thank you, Tucker, and welcome to Hannity.
Americans held hostage behind enemy lines. Day 65.
Nicer guy. That high drama tonight around Trump's former campaign manager, who he's already had to pardon once, that drama comes as former President Trump himself brought a lawsuit this afternoon against that same committee investigating the January 6th attack. He's basically trying to stop the investigation from getting access to his White House records, records related to the attack. He filed that lawsuit tonight. We shall see. But he filed that lawsuit tonight on what is turning out to be a big day for his legal fees already. Before he filed the lawsuit tonight, earlier this afternoon, Trump completed a 4.5-hour sworn deposition in one of the roughly 10 civil lawsuits that is currently pending against him. This lawsuit relates to anti-Trump protesters who say they were subject to violence from Trump's private security guards at a protest outside Trump Tower in 2015. These plaintiffs allege that Trump encouraged violence against people who protested against him. They allege that Trump is liable for the violence they experienced, in part because the private security guards involved in this violence worked for him, and he's responsible for his employees' conduct. This suit has been around for several years. It has been pending against Trump for a long time. In this case and in several other cases, he was able to delay having to give any deposition or any other testimony in these cases because he was serving as president. But now that he's no longer serving as president, the floodgates are starting to open. He's having to start to appear for these things. For example, he's facing another potential deposition between now and the end of the year in a defamation case brought against him by a woman named Summer Zervos. Zervos says Trump defamed her when he denied her claims that Trump had sexually assaulted her. He's due to be deposed in that case again before the end of the year. He's facing another potential deposition and potentially a DNA test in a similar case brought by a different woman, E.G. Carroll, who also says Trump defamed her when he denied her claims that he raped her. He's facing another potential deposition in a major fraud case brought against him by people who say they were duped into investing in a bunch of worthless schemes because Trump endorsed them. That case, again, ongoing. They've been seeking his deposition now that he is no longer president. That didn't happen. And there's a bunch more of these. I could go on. There's a lot of these. Before today, the last time he was actually deposed in one of these civil suits was in 2015. Again, he was elected in 2016, so that's before he became president. In that case, he was deposed in conjunction with another fraud case brought against him related to his Trump University scam, which he ran for years. That case did not end well. He gave that deposition as part of his defense in that lawsuit, but ultimately, in the end, he paid out $25 million to settle that case. Paid out $25 million right before he was sworn in as president. I always felt like that was sort of one of the underplayed angles of Trump ascending to the presidency. We should have known at the time that was an inauspicious beginning for any presidency. Who else pays out $25 million to settle a massive fraud suit against them right before becoming president? You should have known. They should have given us an inkling as to how to become but that was in 2015 in the Trump University fraud case that cost him $25 million. That was the last time he had to do one of these depositions before the one he did today. All the other ones were put on pause while he was president. As of today, they have started back up. So we're watching that. Also, as of tonight, we've got eyes on the U.S. Supreme Court. The U.S. Justice Department has gone to the Supreme Court on the issue of Texas's abortion ban. You'll recall that the Supreme Court allowed that Texas abortion ban to go into effect in September. Last month, the Justice Department is fighting it. Today, DOJ basically asked the Supreme Court to look at the case from a different angle than the way they previously looked at it. The Justice Department wants the Supreme Court to block the law, basically on the grounds that Texas can't do something that deliberately violates the U.S. Constitution and then block the federal courts from reviewing it. So again, the Justice Department could have gone back to a lower appeals court. They've decided instead to try their luck with the United States Supreme Court. It appears that the Supreme Court has some appetite to potentially fold that in with the other major abortion case that is coming their way before the end of the year. The Mississippi abortion case, which anti-abortion advocates believe will be the vehicle by which this conservative Supreme Court finally eradicates the protections of Roe versus Wade once and for all. We shall see. Eyes on the Supreme Court in that case tonight as well. So there's a lot going on. And on top of all of that, when it comes to the Democratic Party, and the Democratic Party trying to get its act together, trying to unite around a strategy to pass the legislative agenda for which President Biden was elected. On this long saga that we've been watching of the Democrats mostly coalescing around President Biden's agenda while some holdouts basically stop progress toward these things actually passing Congress. Today, a remarkable thing happened. Today, the people who actually want to be in the same room together, talking one-on-one, fighting it out between them, today those people finally did get in the room together, personally, one-on-one. Let me explain what happened. These are the first real signs that the heretofore frozen negotiations about how to pass President Biden's agenda, those frozen negotiations may be starting to thaw. Here's the situation. Tomorrow, the White House is scheduled to hold another round of meetings, separate meetings with Democratic moderates and Democratic progressives to talk about a path forward for the Biden agenda, for the Build Back Better Act. Today, ahead of those meetings, President Biden met separately with one leading progressive Democrat, Congresswoman Bermuda Triangle, who is the chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. Throughout this whole process, Congresswoman Bermuda Triangle has been the lead negotiator for the progressives. She successfully mobilized the Progressive Caucus to withhold their support from a much smaller bipartisan infrastructure bill as a means of making sure that the much bigger Build Back Better Act would also get a vote and would not be killed in the United States Senate. Now, she's been the lead on the progressive side. On the moderate side, on the centrist side, there's not really a need for a single lead negotiator because all the centrist Democrats trying to trim down this bill, frankly, fit into a Subaru Forester, and they probably still wouldn't have to fight over who gets their cup holder. There just aren't that many of them. On the progressive side, though, we've got Congressman John Powell effectively acting as an emissary for the nearly 100 members of the Progressive Caucus, but really for all the Democrats in Washington, who are all but united around wanting to see as much of President Biden's agenda passed as possible. For that reason alone, it's notable that Congresswoman Jayapal was at the White House today for more talks directly between her and President Biden. What is even more interesting and newsworthy is what she did after her meeting with President Biden. It was NBC News' Garrett Haid who was first to report this afternoon that Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, after her meeting with President Biden today, she then held a 2-hour meeting with the other guy named Joe, who's in the middle of this drama. Congresswoman Jayapal met for 2 hours with Senator Joe Manchin. Finally, the people who need to be in the same room fighting this out are in the same room fighting this out. Senator Manchin is, of course, one of the two Democratic senators who have been blocking this thing, who have been insisting that President Biden's agenda shouldn't pass. They want to, he and Senator Kirsten Sinema of Arizona want to shrink the president's bill, the Build Back Better bill, and they want to strip out some of its provisions, or we're not exactly sure how much they want to strip out, or what they want to cut, or whether they want it to just be smaller, they don't care how it's smaller, or if they care about cutting on specific things. Depends on what day, depends on when you ask, depends on what kind of day. Over the weekend, it looked like Senator Manchin was starting to ratchet up his resistance to passing the president's agenda at all. The New York Times reporting on Friday that the core climate provisions of the bill were likely to be stripped out of it because of Joe Manchin's singular opposition to this. On Sunday, yesterday, Axios reported that Senator Manchin had come out with a whole new list of ways that he wanted to cut down the very popular child tax credit that Democrats passed in the COVID relief bill and now want to make permanent. At the same time, everybody else in the party's frustration with Joe Manchin seemed to have reached a bit of a tipping point. Friday night, Senator Bernie Sanders, another key progressive in these negotiations, head of the Budget Committee in the Senate, he wrote an op-ed for Senator Manchin's hometown paper in West Virginia, the Charleston Gazette-Mail, stating why he thought West Virginians would benefit from the key provisions of the Build Back Better Act, which Senator Manchin opposes. The stuff that Senator Manchin says he doesn't like, Senator Sanders wrote in the op-ed that all of those things would help West Virginians. He wrote, quote, poll after poll shows overwhelming support for this legislation. Yet the political problem we face is that in a 50-50 Senate, we need every Democratic senator to vote yes. We now have only 48 yes votes. 2 Democratic senators remain in opposition, including West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin. Again, Senator Sanders publishing that in Senator Manchin's hometown paper in West Virginia, which Senator Manchin very much did not like, just like anybody else talking to West Virginians except him. He responded to that op-ed in a snippy statement that said, in part, this isn't the first time an out-of-stater has tried to tell West Virginians what's best for them, despite having no relationship to our state. I will not vote for a reckless expansion of government programs. No op-ed from a self-declared independent socialist is going to change that. So, all of that made it seem like the prospects for Democrats figuring something out, coming to some kind of resolution, seemed like those prospects were getting more and more remote, as Senator Manchin seemed to be more and more dug in and more prickly about it all the time. But then today happened. For the first time since these talks began, you had the lead progressive negotiator, Congressman Pramila Jayapal, somehow managing to get into the same room as one of the 2 elusive senators holding up this deal. From the very beginning, it has felt for those of us who aren't politicians, those of us who watch this because we care about the policy and because we care about the human drama of it. Those of us who are politicians have sort of, I think, instinctively felt, couldn't Giant Paul and Manchin just talk about this and kind of figure it out? They both seem like they've got an argument to make. What if they just made it to each other without anybody else there? Couldn't that get us there? Couldn't Senator Sanders and Senator Manchin sit in the same room, talk about it one-on-one? Obviously, they've got both points. They both got points to make. If they talked about it one-on-one, in the same room, at length, couldn't they get somewhere? Again, those of us watching from the cheap seats have sort of had that instinct all along. Well, today those conversations finally happened. Sources telling NBC News tonight that during the conversation between Giant Paul and Manchin, each of them laid out their priorities for the Build Back Better bill. They reportedly did not get into a specific back and forth over how they were going to resolve their differences, but they each laid out their case to one another directly in the same room at length. And again, this was the first meeting between Giant Paul and Manchin, and it went on quite a while, apparently about 2 hours. And also, today Senator Manchin held another one-on-one meeting with Senator Bernie Sanders. Following that meeting, a notably chipper Senator Manchin even stopped to pose for a picture with Senator Sanders while the two were leaving the Capitol walking to their cars.
Hey, get a picture. You want to get a picture of us? Get a picture of us, huh? We're talking, sorry. We're talking.
You're going to have a resolution by the end of the week?
We're talking. We're talking. We're making progress. Senator Sanders, you prepared to make some deep cuts to climate change and other things like that? All right, guys, if you want to speak, please come on out. That man is going to come out.
Sort of heard Senator Manchin kind of say something to Senator Sanders there as they both got in their cars. According to the NBC News Capitol Hill producer Frank Thorpe, who was there at the moment, what Senator Manchin said there to Senator Sanders was, quote, "Never give up, Bernie." What does that mean? Just before we got on the air, CNN reported that in addition to Senator Manchin meeting with Carmella Giant Paul today and meeting with Senator Bernie Sanders today, Senator Manchin also apparently had a direct phone call with President Biden today. Does this mean that things are changing? What does it mean that the key progressives in this fight are now meeting one-on-one and directly with Senator Manchin, who is the guy who has got his thumb in the dike here? What's he saying to them? What are these meetings like? Do these indicate progress? And just the person to ask. Joining us now is Congresswoman Carmella Giant Paul. She is chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, and she has had quite a day. Congresswoman Giant Paul, it's a real pleasure to have you here. Thanks for making time.
It's great to see you, Rachel.
So again, I'm watching from the cheap seats, as is everybody in the country who is a stakeholder in this fight, who cares about this policy, who knows how transformative this bill would be if it passes, and even people who aren't invested in the policy and just can't believe the drama and how this is spooling out across personalities and across time. What can you tell us about that meeting with Senator Manchin and how we should understand it in terms of whether this thing is going to get done?
Well, Rachel, I have said for some time that we're going to get them both done. We are going to get them done. It's a messy process. You know, democracy is not always easy. Negotiation is not always easy. There are differences. Everybody knows that there are differences. We got to bridge them and we got to come together because at the end of the day, we have to deliver both these bills, the infrastructure bill and the Build Back Better Act, to the president's desk. I have always been happy to talk to anybody. It was great to spend time with Senator Manchin today. I'm not going to get into the details of what we talked about, but I just think it is important for us to be talking to each other. I felt that way for some time. And I think that those conversations are important to have because we're not going to be able to make progress unless we all talk to each other. And so that's what today was about. Also, meeting with the president and really, again, this is the president's agenda, and I am really proud of the Progressive Caucus for what we did to actually get the Build Back Better Act back onto the table and have us negotiating on it, have a real discussion around it, because unlike the bipartisan bill, which you and I talked about, and I think we were both kind of skeptical, honestly, that it was going to get done, but it took 5 months, and eventually it got done. But this also has really only been 2 weeks of negotiation. It's only since the Progressive Caucus said we're not going to do one without the other that we then were able to get people to take this negotiation seriously and come to the table. And that's what we're doing right now. I'm not saying it's gonna, I don't know that it's gonna be done tomorrow, right? We're gonna keep having these conversations. I'm back at the White House tomorrow with some of my progressive colleagues. I know the president's also doing another meeting with some of the other centrist Democrats. But this is important, and I do think it's important that the president himself has been really engaged, because as I've been saying on TV, I said it to him directly, he thanked me for this. It's the president's agenda. This is the agenda that Joe Biden ran on, the Democrats ran on, and now we have to deliver, all of us. And he is at the center of that, and he is working very hard to get us to resolution.
Do you believe that Senator Manchin wants to pass the Build Back Better Act? You said at the very top of your remarks there that you believe that both of these things will pass. If he doesn't want Build Back Better to pass, it won't pass. Do you believe that he wants a bill and it's just a matter of finding what it is exactly that he can say yes to?
Yes, I do believe that. And I don't think he would have all these discussions if that wasn't the case. There are differences. Some of them have been reported in the papers. There are differences in terms of what our states. I mean, one of the things that's always interesting for me when when I'm talking to people that are from very different states is just to listen and hear. Okay, what is it like in your state, and vice versa. And so I think that is an important part of getting to understand where somebody's coming from in any negotiation that I've ever been in. And I think, obviously the main negotiations have been happening primarily between the two senators and the White House, and then between us and the White House. But this was an important step for us to listen to each other directly and to be able to say that, for example, for me to be able to say, yes, I do believe that Senator Manchin wants a bill to pass. Is it a different bill than the bill I want to pass? Yes. Are we going to get to some resolution? I believe so. But it may take a little bit of time. It may look opaque on the outside. And it may be frustrating because, I don't think anybody's going to get everything they want. And I think that is true. That is the reality. But can we do something that is truly transformative for the country, that really does provide universal child care, pre-K, home and community-based care, a real investment in climate? I mean, all of the things, housing, all of the things we've been talking about, I do think that we will deliver something very transformative for the country. I really do.
You just said there that nobody's going to get everything they want, and the bill that you want to pass is not the same bill that Senator Manchin wants to pass. I have to ask you, and I mean this quite literally, does Senator Manchin think that he is going to get everything he wants? Does he actually think that he gets to decide the full scope of the bill and then he doesn't have to negotiate? And I ask that not to be snide, but specifically because the critique that Senator Sanders has made here, I think, really resonates with me, which is that everybody who wants to pass this bill is willing to talk about what it's going to be. It can't, the result of negotiation can't be that two people get to dictate that they get everything they want. There has to be some meeting in the middle. I don't know that Senator Manchin shares that. Do you feel like you know that after meeting with him today?
I can't speak for him. I mean, I really can't speak for him. I'm certainly not going to defend, his positions. I just think that, I think that probably he would have been fine originally. Well, I'm not going to speak for him. I just think that we are going to get this bill done. It is going to be more than some people wanted. It is going to be less than what other people wanted. What I'm concerned about is it transformative? Is it going to be a massive investment in people's lives, in improving people's lives, so that, Rachel, at the end of the day, they actually trust us in government to deliver? That, to me, is the biggest thing here, and that's what I'm looking at every piece of this with that lens. Are we going to be able to get people to trust that we did, if not everything that we said we would do, a substantial portion of it? And one of the things that the president has said, he said it in Connecticut, he said it to me today, we are going to fight for everything. We just may not get everything in this particular moment, but we aren't giving up on any of this, for the longer term. But we got to be able to deliver at least something transformational. And that's, I think that's, I mean, look, I'm an optimist. Can you be in politics without being an optimist? Can you be an organizer without being an optimist? I'm an optimist. I believe we're going to get there. I don't think it's going to be simple. I don't think it's going to be clean. I think people will need to have a little bit of patience, but I think we're going to get there.
Briefly, Congresswoman, a follow-up meeting with Senator Manchin. Any plans to meet with Senator Sinema?
I had a conversation with Senator Sinema already, and I'd be happy to have another one. I think the key thing here is I am ready to talk to anybody, anywhere, literally at any time. And because we got to get this done. I mean, we have to work to deliver things that make people say my life is better. That's all I want at the end of the day. People wake up and say, you know what, they fought for me and they made my life better, and maybe they didn't get everything, but they fought for me and they made my life better. That's what I want people to be able to say, and I think we're going to be able to do that.
Congresswoman Pramila Jayapal, Chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus, very much in the room where it happens today, both with the President and the Senator Manchin. Thanks for keeping us surprised. I have a feeling we're going to be prying a bit more about these conversations in days ahead. Thanks for helping us.
Thank you, Rachel.
A vision of optimism and also relentlessness from the Chair of the Congressional Progressive Caucus. This is getting to be remarkably dramatic. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
No, that's not good.
Regina approaches the all-electric Cadillac. It's a sunny day.
The store.
Classical music plays.
Brass band, New Orleans.
She drives hands-free along the coast.
Making home spring. Cadillac is going electric. If you want to be bold, you have to go off script.
Experience the all-electric Cadillac Lyric.
It's really been a gift having Mom live with us. But as a nurse, my training told me she needed more help than I could provide. So I connected with a place for Mom. My senior living advisor understood our unique situation. She quickly recommended communities and set up tours. A place for Mom helped us get to a decision. And now, Mom is so well cared for. Our service comes at no cost to your family. Connect with us today.
Ready to experience new career growth and the joy of helping others? As the #1 brand in property damage restoration, CertPro is dedicated to restoring hope to those who need it most. And we need you to join our team. We have thousands of jobs available with premium compensation and the opportunity to move into management and even ownership, and access to the best training available. No industry experience required. Visit CertProCareers.com to see how we take care of people who take care of people.
With Realtor.com's home alerts, we found our new desert home really fast. And us cacti aren't exactly known for our speed.
Mainly because we don't have legs.
You work with what you have. Realtor.com, to each their home.
You're busy. Too busy to get what you need. So you'll use Instacart. Just tell your shopper what you're looking for, and they'll bring it right to your door, fast, with same-day delivery and pickup for your pay. Instacart, everything you need.
Amanda?
Well,